a row. The Red Sox month of September is not shaping up the way they hoped.
As my memory rests, it never forgets what I lost. Wake me up when September ends.
Welcome to the Rogers Center in Toronto for Game 3 of the 3-game series between the Red Sox and the Blue Jays. Hi again, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo. Welcome to Red Sox baseball. Red Sox trying to salvage the last game of this series. They've run into some very good starting pitching in the series. McGowan and Burnett in the first 2 games, but the Red Sox starters have done fairly well as well. We check out the numbers so far. Tim Wakefield gave up 4 earned runs in 6 innings, his best start since August 25th against the White Sox. John Lester surrendered just 1 run in 6 2/3 and was in line for the win heading into the 8th inning last night, while the Blue Jays have gotten 17 2/3 out of their combination. We welcome in Jerry Remy. And Jerry, speaking of starting pitching, Clay Buchholz pitching for the first time since the no-no.
Well, this has certainly been exciting times for Clay Buchholz and Red Sox fans to watch a young pitcher come to the big leagues and perform the way he has. Now, he's had a couple of starts which have been very good. His first against the Angels, of course, we all know about the no-hitter, and a tremendous relief appearance also against Baltimore, going 3 innings in that game, giving up 1 hit, a couple of walks, and 3 strikeouts. The thing right now, though, he's working on 13 days rest on. You know, he hasn't had to do that during the course of the season. They're on this program of trying to save pitches for him, not overextend him at the end of the year. He's still a young guy, but 13 days off between appearances is a long time, so we'll see if that has any effect at all on him tonight. Now, the other question is, what role will Clay Buchholz play in postseason play for the Red Sox? And I think that's very unclear at this time. I think it depends on how that bullpen shakes out for Boston. Can they get Gagne right? Can they get Okajima right? If not, it's possible you could see Buchholz in the bullpen for the playoffs.
Well, tonight the Red Sox have to face Jesse Litsch, who in 2 starts is 1-1 against Boston. The first pitch from Toronto is next.
I'm into nuggets, y'all. I'm into nuggets, y'all. I'm into nuggets, y'all. I'm into nuggets, y'all. McNuggets, McNuggets, what? McNuggets, McNuggets, what? McNuggets, McNuggets, what? Ketchup and mayo. Nuggets, ketchup and mayo. Nuggets, dip it in that barbecue sauce. Ketchup and mayo. What? Dip it in that barbecue sauce. McNuggets, McNuggets, what? McNuggets, McNuggets, what? McNuggets, McNuggets, what? Chicken McNuggets.
At VIP Parts, Tires, and Service, we know how to show you and your car a little love. Need tires? Our Speed Lane pros help you make the right selection for the best price guaranteed. And we'll install them in under an hour. No wasted time. Just the biggest selection of name brand quality tires. Michelin, Pirelli, Goodyear, and more in stock when you need them. Installed by qualified service techs faster than anywhere. When you need quality name brand tires, make an appointment in our Speed Lane bay. VIP, a little love goes a long way.
You thought your child was safe. She made it out of high school without smoking. No more worries, right? Wrong. Almost 1 out of 3 Maine kids will become an addicted smoker by the time he or she enters young adulthood. 1 out of 3. And periods of transition, such as leaving home for the first time, leave youth more vulnerable to tobacco marketing. Their target, your daughter. Tobacco never quits. Learn how to prevent tobacco use. Visit tobacconeverquits.com.
This is not just a Harvard Pilgrim member card. It's the power of choice. You see, it won't tell you where to go. You tell it where you want to go. A family physician down the street, a doctor at a teaching hospital, or a specialist in another town. This card will get you there. After all, it's your doctor, not ours.
I play both Megabucks and Powerball in Maine every week. I play Megabucks because even though it's not hundreds of millions, it's still a lot of money. And there are more winners in Maine than the other 2 states. And I play Powerball because I can dream a little, or I can dream a lot.
Going to Burger Town. Want anything?
Oh,
If they still have the Can My Butt Look Any Bigger meal, will you get me one?
Me too.
Instead, try the new Subway Fresh Fit Meal, now with more tasty choices like new hearty wheat bread and low-fat yogurt. Subway, eat fresh.
Closed captioning provided by Finagle Bagel, Austin's best sandwich, soup, salad, and of course Bagel Cafe, with 20 locations in Eastern Mass. A September to Remember is brought to you by WB Mason and the new What a Bargain Super Clearance Center for office furniture and equipment. Beautiful night in Toronto. We've been very fortunate in this three-game stay weather-wise. The Red Sox have not enjoyed the stay so far as we get ready for Game 3 of this three-game series inside the Rogers Center, where the roof is open once again tonight. And the Red Sox and Blue Jays wrap up this three-game series. Red Sox looking to salvage the last game of the series and turn to Clay Buchholz trying to get that done, as the Red Sox will be facing Jesse Litsch. And for Terry Francona, it's been pretty frustrating the last couple of days.
Well, it has been, Don, but the Red Sox got some good news today as Detroit lost again. So they are pretty much eliminating themselves from postseason play. So I think the magic number for the Red Sox now is what, 4 or 3?
It's down to 3 with a loss by Detroit.
So a win tonight would be 2 to get into the playoffs. And of course, the chase continues for first place as the Yankees continue to play well. And the Red Sox need a win tonight behind Clay Buchholz, who has not pitched for the Red Sox in 13 days. His last outing, a bullpen outing.
Well, Blue Jays take the field, so let's check out the Red Sox starting 9 tonight. Jacoby Ellsbury in center field will lead it off for the Red Sox. It's Dustin Pedroia at second base, David Ortiz at DH, Mike Lowell at third base, with J.D. Drew in right field, Jason Varitek doing the catching, Eric Hinsky at first base, Bobby Kelty in left field, and Julio Lugo bats ninth at shortstop. On the mound tonight for the Toronto Blue Jays is Jesse Litsch.
Jesse Litsch is making his 18th start of the season. He is 5-9 with a 4.37. He has lost his last 3 starts, games against Baltimore, Tampa Bay, and last time against Baltimore, though pitched pretty well in that Baltimore game. Against the Red Sox this year, 1-1, and the Red Sox did rough him up the last time they saw him at Fenway. That was on September 3rd. In that ball game, he only lasted 3 1/3 innings with 7 hits and 7 earned runs against the Sox. The Toronto defense is 8th in the league. They've made 93 errors on the season. Russ Adams is at third base. Ray Olmedo, the shortstop. Aaron Hill at second, and Matt Steers at first. Left to right, Adam Lynn, Vernon Wells, and Alex Rios, and Greg Zahn doing the catching for Litsch.
Umpiring crew tonight, Ed Hickox has the plate, Scott Berry at first base, C.B. Buckner at second base, and Joe West is the umpire at third. Where available, this telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your television remote. Enjoy the game.
Buenas noches, amigos.
Now 77 degrees, the wind swirling here very lightly inside Rogers Center. And the forecast clearing the rest of the night, and it really has been fantastic today. The warmest of the 3 days that the Red Sox have spent north of the border. It will certainly get warmer for them beginning tomorrow as they head to Tampa Bay.
How can the forecast be clearing when it's been clear all day?
That was a little cloudy there for a little while, so it's going to clear up even better. Yeah,
I must have missed that.
Yeah, we got to go outside to see that. Jacoby Ellsbury leads it off. Yeah, it's ball 1 to start the ball game. Outfield straight away for Ellsbury. Yes, he takes ball 2, and it's 2-0.
Litsch is a fastball, curveball, slider, change, cut fastball pitcher, and we've seen all those pitches in the 2 starts that he has made against the Boston Red Sox.
He's in for ball 3, and it's 3-0. Elusive first strike for Litsch. It's 3-1. On the ground foul, able to battle back to a full count.
Well, the Red Sox still without Manny Ramirez in the lineup, still without Kevin Youkilis in the lineup. Coco Crisp with another day off. That tender back that he has. Probably see him over the weekend. Who knows when we'll see Manny. Could be this weekend. Could be back at Fenway.
Continues to take batting practice every day on the field as well as in the cage. Here's ball 4, and Ellsbury aboard to begin the night. Kobe down to first base and bring up Dustin Pedroia. Pedroia 327 homers and 49 runs batted in. Terry Francona was talking about Manny Ramirez today, and oddly said that swinging and batting right now, they get all excited because he's been hitting on a regular basis and hitting with power, and that doesn't seem to be a problem. Tried to run, and that became a problem, which is a little confusing as far as the oblique goes. I don't quite get all that.
Well, you know, this has been the year of the oblique muscle. I mean,
Sure
it seems
has.
like every player has had an extended period of time on the disabled list while missing a lot of games with that same problem. We've seen a number of pitchers go down with it. Eric Bedard with the Orioles.
I throw to first, but Stair's able to reel it in.
I mean, watching Manny take batting practice prior to the game, he looks like a normal batting practice for him. Of course, that's different than game conditions when you have to check swings, swing a little bit harder. And I guess, as you said, Don, Francona said running is still a problem for him.
Fly ball to right. Alex Rios back a few steps, makes the catch. Ellsbury back to the bag at first. Pedroia is retired. Here's David Ortiz. Limited 321, 31 homers, and 107 runs batted in. Last 3 games, David is 1 for 11 with 7 strikeouts.
Now, the Red Sox have struck out a lot in this series, and that's because they faced 2 power pitchers, McGowan, and of course last night A.J. Burnett with his nasty curveball to do the honors for most of his strikeouts, all but 1.
20 strikeouts in the first 2 games of the series for the Red Sox.
Strikeouts for A.J. Burnett last night, and a lot of them on curveballs. Also some good defense. He starts a 1-6-3 double play to get out of trouble. So everything going for A.J. Burnett in that game last night against the Sox.
Pitch in there for ball 2, and it's 2-0. Well, special night tonight here in Red Sox baseball. W.B. Mason is our sole sponsor tonight. As they bring you Red Sox Blue Jays from Toronto, final game of the series. And Ortiz takes a strike, 2-1.
This is a much different pitcher than what they've seen in the first 2 games of the series. Not a strikeout type pitcher.
A shift on Aaron Hill a little closer than he normally is on the right side. And Almeida and Hill are relatively close to each other also on that right side.
Yeah.
Usually Hill's out in short right.
Yeah, but they got 3 guys pinched in here pretty tight. The reason that he is here is because of the double play. If he's out there, he's not going to get a chance to turn a double play.
Ortiz with a swing and a miss, and the count 2-2.
Change up this time from Jesse Litsch. And a pretty good one down and away from David Ortiz, had him off balance.
In, and it's a full count. Ortiz leads the American League with 103 walks and the .435 on base percentage. Lowell waits on deck. Red Sox batting, top half of the first. There goes Ellsbury on the 3-2, and it's ball 4. Big Poppy to first base with that shift on. All of a sudden, everybody running for third base in case Ellsbury continued onward. As the Blue Jays were scurrying in the infield to try to recover.
3-2 count. He tries to get David Ortiz on a changeup. This time David doesn't bite. Now third base wide open. Adams recognizes that and sprints toward third base along with Greg Zahn, the catcher.
So Ortiz walking, second walk of the inning allowed by Jesse Litsch. And it's one out, first and second for Mike Lowell. .329, 19 homers and 109 runs batted in. As Zahn's out to talk to Jesse Litsch.
Mike Lowell has 4 at bats against Litsch. He is 2 for 4 with a home run. And of course, right now, Mike Lowell running on a 6-game hitting streak. 12 for his last 24.
Well, the Red Sox starters against Litsch in 2 starts. 12 for 23, 522 against Litsch. Red Sox winning 13-10 in their last game against Litsch. In there for strike 1 to Lowell. And last start against the Red Sox, he lasted just 3 1/3, giving up 7 hits and 7 runs. It was on September the 3rd at Fenway. On the ground off the side of the mound to Aaron Hill to second for 1 on to first. Litsch, despite walking 2, gets out of the inning unscathed. Blue Jays coming up.
From the files of W.B. Mason's Low Price Assurance Detectives.
The name's Mason, W.B. Mason.
My partner and I were working the city, looking for businesses getting soaked by the super office stores. This one had all the signs.
Excuse me, ma'am. We're here to save you money.
We're Low Price Assurance Detectives.
Ooh.
Mind if I ask where you buy office supplies?
From a superstore, of course.
Mind if I ask why?
They have low prices, don't they?
Sure. Low.
But maybe not low enough.
What do you think, Chief?
We have no choice, Booker.
Just check out these prices, ma'am.
You might say she liked the prices in my new office supply catalog. Want to save money on office supplies? Call 1-888-WB Mason to get my new catalog.
Go ahead, get yourself booked.
Who but W.B. Mason?
From the people on the Green Monster comes W.B. Mason's What a Bargain Super Clearance Center. You will save up to 75% on hundreds and hundreds of new and used office furniture and equipment located in Boston at 647 Summer Street across from the Boston Athletic Club. There's plenty of free parking. Who but W.B. Mason's What a Bargain store.
Last half of the first inning back at Rogers Center in Toronto. Let's check out the Blue Jays starting 9 tonight. Vernon Wells leading it off and has in all 3 games in center field. Matt Stairs at first base. Alex Rios in right field. Frank Thomas, the designated hitter. Aaron Hill at second base. Greg Zahn doing the catching. Adam Lind in left field. Russ Adams, the hero from last night at third base. That's 8th. And Ray Olmedo at shortstop. That's 9th. On the mound tonight for the Red Sox, Clay Buchholz.
Well, the last time out for Buchholz was a relief appearance. That was back on September 6th in Baltimore. Pitched 3 scoreless innings to get a win in that game. See the record of 3-0. And of course, one of those, the no-hitter against the Orioles. Back on September 1st, a 10-0 Red Sox win. 9 innings, no hits, 3 walks, and 9 strikeouts. First no-hitter ever thrown by a Red Sox rookie. The Red Sox are second in the league in defense with 77 errors. Mike Lowell at third base, Julio Lugo the shortstop, Dustin Pedroia at second, and Hinsky at first. Left to right, Kilty, Ellsbury, and J.D. Drew. And Jason Veritek doing the catching for Buchholz.
Last half of the first inning, and Vernon Wells leading it off for Toronto. Well, starting the night hitting at .246. Our numbers are down. 16 homers, 80 runs batted in for Vernon Wells. A strike for Buchholz, and the count 1-1. We're kind of wondering when we would see Buchholz again. Of course, the 3-inning stint against Baltimore after the no-hitter. Now his third start in a Red Sox uniform and in the majors. Did throw on the side a little bit during a game. In the first game of this series, in fact, here in Toronto.
He is now working on 13 days of rest, and we'll see if that has any effect at all on him.
Foul outside of third, retrieved by Lowell, and the count evens at 2-2.
Buchholz, of course, with the fastball, the over-the-top curveball, the very good changeup, and also a slider.
Wells with 16 home runs. His last home run was against the Red Sox. 2-run game-winning home run off Hideki Okajima in the 9th inning at Fenway Park. Pops it up this time right side. Eric Kinski makes the catch for the first out in the bottom of the first. So one down. Here comes Matt Stairs. There's just under 300 at 299, 19 homers, and 59 runs batted in. Over his last 33 games, Stairs hitting at 356. And his last home run was also against the Red Sox, hitting a 3-run shot off Josh Beckett. Back on September 4th at Fenway Park. 19 home runs, the most he's had since 2003. And he had 20 home runs as a member of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Strike over the outside corner, quickly 0-2 to Stairs.
First changeup of the night from Clay Buchholz. Right now, some of these Toronto hitters just wanted to get a look at his stuff. They have never seen him pitch except on video.
And Stairs going around. Strikes out on the breaking ball, and it's the first strikeout of the night for Clay Buchholz.
Well, he saw a wide variety of pitches in that at bat. A fastball, a changeup, and a curveball will put him away. And Cox, the home plate umpire, calling the swing on Matt Stairs. So a couple of quick outs here in the first inning.
So down for Alex Rios. Chopped up the middle. Lugo to his left gathers and throws, and it's a 1-2-3 first for Clay Buchholz. 1-1, no score from Toronto.
From the files of W.B. Mason's Low Price Assurance Detectives.
The name's Mason, W.B. Mason. My partner and I were on stakeout, watching for people getting soaked by the super office stores. This one looked vaguely familiar. Follow that car.
Well, if it's not my two favorite...
Low Price Assurance Detectives.
I just love your shiny badges.
This is no joke, ma'am. We've got you for reckless purchasing and spending to endanger.
But it was on sale.
So the price was low.
But maybe not low enough.
What do you think, Chief?
She's a repeat offender. Book her. You might say she liked my price for copy paper. Next time, to save on office supplies, just call this number.
Who was that low-price assurance detective?
Who but W.B. Mason?
Scoreless after one. Let's send it down to Tina Cervasio.
A lot of news today, Don, coming before the game, and we learned that Hideki Okajima has not been available since Saturday. The last time he pitched was Friday. We saw him struggle with locating his pitches against the Yankees. Today, Terry Francona gave us some more information about what is wrong with Okajima.
We get to a certain point sometimes with pitchers because we monitor it so closely that we decide that, okay, we're going to keep them out of games and we're going to get them back to where they can be the pitcher that we expect and need. So he's not been available for the last few days. and he probably won't be available for the next few days. And then hopefully that last push we have for however long it lasts will be the Okie that we've kind of come to know and love.
Now, last week we did know that Okajima was suffering from some type of hip injury. As far as why he has been shut down, Francona said it's not anything specific. Okajima himself said that his overall condition wasn't perfect, so the team actually came to him and said, let's take a little time and bring your condition back to the way it was.
Thank you, Tina. Well, we've heard so much and so much been made as to whether or not he is tired. And certainly he has gone to areas that he's not gone in the past as far as pitches thrown, innings thrown, and certainly not against the competition that he has faced this year. We wonder if he has reached some sort of wall here, and will he be able to help the Red Sox the rest of the season and on into the postseason?
I think he will be able to, but I think he needs time off. Now, what happens is when you become tired, you lose concentration. That's what happens. It hasn't been velocity with him that he's lost, because he's never had velocity. He's been 88 miles an hour all season long. But when you become fatigued, your location is off. And of course, when that happens, your concentration is also off. So you're not concentrating because you're tired. You're making pitches that you wouldn't normally make. And that's what's happened with Okajima. So, he's had this physical problem. He's fatigued. Let him sit out for a while. And hopefully he's got one last breath in him, for the remainder of the season. Look, this guy's worked a lot more than he's ever worked in his life. And as you said, against better competition, under more stressful circumstances than he ever has in the past. And that wears on you the course of the season. But for the Red Sox to be successful in postseason, they need him. So they got to give him some time.
J.D. Drew leading it off here in the second inning with a count of 1-2. And on the hands, pushes it out to Russ Adams, who throws him out. With every Red Sox home run tonight, W.B. Mason will donate $1,000 to the Children's Hospital Brain Trauma Center. Who but W.B. Mason? One down here in the second inning. Here's Jason Varitek. 254, 13 homers, and 63 runs batted in. Jason Varitek quick to point out last night how much the Red Sox are going to need Eric Gagne, and certainly everybody today very frustrated, including Eric Gagne, by the performance last night. But I thought you brought up a big point today in the pregame show, which is pretty true here as far as the Red Sox go the rest of the way. You're going to see a lot more of Eric Gagne moving forward.
You have no choice. I mean, you have to keep running him back out there as much as possible until he can get his act together, and you got to believe that at some point that's going to happen for him, because the way things are now in the bullpen, Okajima's problems and Gagne's problems. I mean, you've got to get both these guys straightened out, and you don't get straightened out by not pitching. I mean, you have to go out there and pitch. It's like being in a slump. You can't get out of your slump as a hitter unless you get up a chance to hit. So they're going to pitch him as much as they can.
Check pops it up, foul, backing out of play. And the count is 2-2. To the count to Varitek. He bats now. Hinske waits on deck. Tonight is brought to you exclusively by W.B. Mason. And because of our short breaks tonight, we'll have the chance to talk to Red Sox bench coach Brad Mills coming up live in between innings. Keep it right here at Rogers Center. Broken bat, liner down the left field line that will land just foul outside the line. Joe West, third base umpire, down there to make the call.
Now Jason Varitek, who has been in a slump, did go 2 for 4 in the ball game last night, and slices one into foul territory down that third base line. Varitek 4 for his last 29. That includes the 2 hits in the ball game last night.
Vortex strikes out. First K for Jesse Litsch of the night. 2 down.
I mentioned, Litsch, not a strikeout pitcher like we've seen the last couple of nights. He gets us about 5 a game, and that time the cut fastball for the strikeout is first of this game.
So 2 down here in the top of the second inning. Brings up Eric Kinski. Hitless in his last 8 at bats. Overall at 215. As he takes strike 1 from Jesse Litsch. Away, and it's 1-2 now to Eric Kinski. Litsch, who started the season at Single-A Dunedin, has found his way all the way to the major leagues this year as part of a very good Toronto Blue Jays pitching staff, which is second only to the Red Sox right now. Kinski on the ground to Aaron Hill at second base, and Litsch enjoys a 1-2-3 second inning.
At 5:30, the Globe 10.0 presented by Verizon tackled today's top 10 hottest topics, but they saved an extra point for us. Is Boston College football BCS worthy? Stay tuned for Sports Desk tonight after Sox coverage to hear Bob Ryan and Dan Shaughnessy tack on the extra point.
Now the bench coach of the Boston Red Sox, Brad Mills, joins us live here from Rogers Center in Toronto. Yeah, Brad, it has been a tough couple of days here for the Red Sox. How would you describe the mood of the club right now?
Well, I think it's really good. I think we had a real good workout today in batting practice. The guys seemed like they were going about things really well professionally, and they seem on top of things.
Brad, the last couple of nights, I mean, you faced 2 buzzsaws pitches, 2 guys, McGowan, of course, with a nasty slider, and last night Burnett with a nasty curveball. I mean, these are big-time strikeout pitches, and any offense could look bad against those guys.
Well, that's exactly right. Those 2 guys, they were on top of their game, and they were a little bit more motivated throwing against us with what's on the line with them as well. So they did a good job, but I think we're hopefully ready to rebound today.
We talked a lot about the injuries, Brad, and there's no doubt about that. Red Sox lineup looking much different right now. You've had a chance to watch Manny Ramirez in batting practice. How do you feel he's doing, and how close do you think he is?
Well, he's progressing really well, and we're hoping that we can get him back as soon as possible. We're just going to have to wait and see how it feels and get all the twinges and aches and pains out of there.
And with, of course, Manny not in there, that creates opportunities for other people. And one of the guys that's getting a lot of playing time, Ellsbury, and he's been kind of fun to watch.
Well, he's making the most of it as well. And with, he adds a little electricity with that speed and so forth. And he plays the outfield well. So it's a good time for him, and he's really helped us out.
Brad, thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you, Don. Thanks, Jerry.
Jacoby Ellsbury has been fun to watch. And certainly, Jerry, as we look towards the postseason, it's tough with all the injuries the Red Sox have right now to really figure out who's going to be on the postseason roster. And again, we're kind of looking too far at this point anyway, but you got to figure Jacoby Ellsbury is one of those guys that'll make his way on.
You would think so, Don. Everything being equal, a guy that can come in late in the ball game defensively if needed, a guy that can steal a base if needed, maybe go up and sacrifice if they need that. So there's a lot of things he can do. And again, a lot of that's going to wiggle out next week.
Frank Thomas leads it off here in the last half of the second inning. It's Thomas, Hill, and Zahn to face Clay Buchholz, who enjoyed a 1-2-3 first.
I really dislike the talk of playoff rosters because things change so quickly in the game. It's amazing. I mean, suppose Manny's not ready. I mean, suppose that's a possibility that he was not ready for the first round of the playoffs. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen. Or a guy like Buchholz, the hand continues to be a problem. Or you get some kind of a sore arm from one of the pitches. Things change dramatically. So, and it also the competition. Who are you playing in the first round? I think all those things come into factor. So,
and certainly one of the bigger question marks will be the guy who's on the hill tonight for the Red Sox, Clay Buchholz. You're right, a lot of baseball left, including tonight. Now 10 games remaining in the season. That's a long time.
You know, you got, for example, you look at bullpens for your opposition. Are they right-handed heavy? Are they left-handed heavy? And sometimes that makes a difference on who you might take on the bench with that particular series. So,
and the series length certainly also when you're thinking about pitching.
There's so many factors and a lot of work for the front office, the managers, the coaches to do, and you know when they finally get to that point.
Well, Thomas with 3-1 fouls it off,
which I'm sure they're already preparing for. There's no question about that, but also keeping an eye open on what else is going on. 2 or 3 decisions could be determined by who your opponent is.
On the move over by the seats. Will run out of room. He's about 3 or 4 deeps out of his reach.
Now Buchholz, since we've seen him in 3 appearances, has not made many bad pitches with his changeup. That one was bad. It stayed upstairs, and very fortunate that Frank Thomas did not jump all over it. This changeup from Buchholz will stay up right about letter high, and that's a great pitch for Frank Thomas to hit, but he just fouls it off.
Top, ball 4, and Buchholz walks Frank Thomas to begin things here in the second. Send it down to Tina Cervasio.
Don, you and Jerry were just talking to Brad Mills about Manny Ramirez. We see him taking batting practice every day and wonder why he's not in the lineup. The problem is when he runs, and that's what Terry Francona talked about today.
There's a difference between swinging under a controlled atmosphere and letting it loose in the game, and the fact is still there that when he runs, it grabs at him a little bit. Anytime Manny's not in the lineup, and I was explaining this to Manny yesterday, want to write him in there 162 games because he's so good. It's not realistic. And then when he gets hurt, because he is Manny, there's going to be things that are said. That's just Boston and Manny. But this kid's working hard. He's just not ready.
And Francona says he understands that the fans might be frustrated. The team, however, is not frustrated with Manny at all. They just don't want to risk re-injury. Of course, they are frustrated, however, because that Hall of Fame bat is not in the lineup.
Thank you, Tina. It was certainly a big hole to fill. And Mike Lowell's been in that cleanup spot really ever since he went down. But I think frustration, for a lot of Red Sox fans, you take a look at it, Jerry, is that it's a similar situation to last year. Now, whether it is or it isn't, it's tough to tell. But at the end of last year, there were some who felt Manny Ramirez did not play last year and could have played last season. And I think this probably is a very different situation. This oblique appears to be very real.
Yeah, and remember, a year ago, the Red Sox were gone.
This one is deep out towards left center field. Kelty backpedaling is there to make the catch. And there's one away.
I have no doubt in my mind that Manny Ramirez is hurt. A year ago there was speculation and Dooley's. The Red Sox were out of it. They were toast. There was no postseason to be had. And many felt that Manny's knee might have been acting up a little bit, and that was it. No mas. That's not the case this year. Red Sox are in this thing. I know he wants to play. He's hurt, and he'll get in there when he can. That simple. And Francona tried to make that very clear, because I don't know what's going on back home. I guess people that are all over because he's not playing, but the fact is he's hurt.
And Zahn fouls off the first pitch from Buchholz. The Toronto catcher bats 6th in the Blue Jays order with 1 out. Frank Thomas at first base. He do not hold on. Frank Thomas at first. Hinsky playing behind him. Opposite field, Kelty coming in to make the catch. Almost hooking away from him. Makes the grab, 2 down. Back-to-back putouts for Kelty out in left field.
Well, last night Brandon Moss getting the start in the outfield. Tonight Bobby Kelty out there. We've seen a lot of different looking outfields for the Red Sox in the absence of Manny Ramirez and Coco Crisp.
Back still an issue for Coco. Inside last night's starter in left, as you mentioned, Brandon Moss. 2 down in the inning. Thomas, who had leadoff walk, still standing at first. Adam Lynn, the batter. And he takes strike one from Buchholz. So Reed Johnson get the start last night and come into the game late in the first game. Lynn getting a start in the first game of the series. Total of 9 home runs for Adam Lynn. First by Blue Jays rookie since Reed Johnson. 10 home runs back in 2003. In the midst of his second stint up from Syracuse. Outside 2-2 now to Adam Lynn. Blue Jays 12th in the American League in batting average at .258. Last year they were all about offense, and this year due to some injuries their lineup has not been the same and their offensive production has not been the same. The pitching has been outstanding this year. 3.97 ERA, second only to the Red Sox. A swing and a miss, and there's the second strikeout of the night for Clay Buchholz. We played 2, no score from Toronto.
It was the crime of the century. Babe Ruth sold to the New York Yankees.
And I meant to find out why.
From W.B. Mason's Low Price Assurance Detectives.
The name's Mason, W.B. Mason. It was 1920. My partner and I went undercover to Fenway Park. After searching high and low for leads, witnesses, clues, I knew we had found the real scene of the crime.
Hello, boys.
We're Low Price Assurance Detectives.
Investigating the sale of Babe Ruth.
I know you.
And we know you.
But what do you know about this?
My office supply bills, so.
So, that's pretty high.
So high the Red Sox sold something big to pay it.
Something big? Oops.
If only the Red Sox had saved money on my office supplies. Who knows what might have been? Who knew?
Who but W.B. Mason?
Sail the Caribbean seas this January. Red Sox legends such as Oil Can Boyd, Rich Gedman, and Rick Wise. It's a cruise designed entirely for lovers of baseball and the Red Sox. Call 800-336-2267 for more information.
Scoreless as we enter the top half of the third inning back in Toronto. It's Bobby Kelty, Julio Lugo, and Jacoby Ellsbury to face Jesse Litsch. To the former Toronto Blue Jay. 247, a home run, 11 runs batted in. Litsch walked 2 in the first inning, but able to work around those walks. Got a big double play. Grounded into by Mike Lowell in the first inning. Red Sox stranded a base runner. A strike, and it's 2-1 to Bobby Kelty. Kelty making his 10th start in a Red Sox uniform. 5th time it's been in left. 5 starts in right field. Sidelined most of the season with a left calf injury that limited to only 13 games for the Oakland Athletics. This one on the ground at Aaron Hill for the first out of the inning. So Kelty retired here in the top half of the third inning, and it brings up Julio Lugo. 241 with 7 homers and 71 runs batted in.
Think about that number, 71 runs batted in. That's from either hitting in the leadoff spot or mostly, sometimes in the ninth spot. That's a large number of RBIs for a leadoff hitter or a 9-hitter.
We looked at Julio's average around the midpoint of the season. It was not spectacular in the 230s. Well, tonight starting at 241, but that RBI number has always been very high. Since the All-Star break, hitting around 300, much of the break over 300, but 58 games at 296 now. In the air to shallow right. Alex Rios in a few steps. And there's 2 down in the inning. Second time through now for Jesse Litsch as he deals with Jacoby Ellsbury, who he walked in the first inning. Jesse Litsch, it has not been a September to remember. 0-3 record, 11.12 earned run average. The opposing hitters coming in tonight hitting at 396. He's also averaged just to 3 2/3 in those starts. This one by the mound. Hill surrounds it. The throw off balance and just in time to get Ellsbury. He thought he beat it out. So did Luis Alicea. And he is out number 3, 2.5 done, scoreless, and send it to Boston and Tom Karen.
Don, thank you very much. Doing a little scoreboard watching tonight. The Angels wrapped up their game with the double rays earlier. Irvin Santana outstanding. 6 1/3 innings. He struck out 10 and gave up 1 run. The Angels beat the double rays 2-1 in the final. The Angels, Red Sox, and Cleveland Indians all in a dead heat now with 90 wins and 62 losses. And tonight it's the New York Yankees. We're having another series of the Baltimore Orioles. Hideki Matsui puts a run on the board here. 25th home run of the season and second in the last 3 games. Yankees have a 1-0 lead. Andy Pettitte on the mound. Sox 2.5 up over New York. We'll head back to Toronto in just a moment.
Nope.
Sorry.
I gotta get some paper. Door. Cool. Retro.
Who was that dude?
Who but WBMason.com.
Well, on our next Sox appeal, it's going to be very, very interesting. Kendra has not only 3 dates, but 6 dates to choose from. Find out if this high-flying flight attendant can get her love life off the ground tonight after Sox coverage. We're making romance reality 1 day at a time. Kendra, not just 3, but 6 dates. 6 possibilities at Fenway.
Scoreless as we head to the last half of the third inning back at Rogers Center in Toronto. As Clay Buchholz thrown 26 pitches through the first 2 innings. Russ Adams in a big hit last night late in the game. Eric Gagne to drive in the go-ahead runs. So he takes strike 1. Adams getting the start at third base tonight, hitting at .310. The home run, 4 runs batted in. 2-run double last night in the 8th.
Don, I have a question for you.
Sure.
Why does Kendra get 6 chances at a guy where most of the others, all the others, to my knowledge, got 3?
Well, maybe they tried the first 3 and it didn't work out, and they decided to add 3 more. Really, that's so unfair, it seems like, because everybody else only had 3. Penalty on the move, will get there and make the catch. Maybe Tina knows. Let's check in with Tina. Tina?
I don't know why she had 6 dates, but I do know that Clay Buchholz was absolutely thrilled on Monday when he got the word that he would get the start tonight and get another start in before the season was over. Now, he's been honest about wanting to remain a starter, but would do anything to help the team win, such as coming out of the bullpen. But over the last few weeks, he's tried the best he can to stay on a regular starter's routine.
Try to stay as close to that routine as I could, being in the bullpen, but not getting to do all the stretching and running and stuff that I've been able to do before the game. So I think going back to that, it'll be a lot better.
And Clay was able to throw his side. Don, Jerry, you guys mentioned this earlier. It was right in the middle of the game on Monday out there in the bullpen here. He threw 25 pitches, enough, he says, to get a better feel for his pitches and to get into a rhythm for his start tonight.
Okay, Tina, this one is squibbed foul, and it's 0-2. It's got to be very tough for him, used to that regiment, which is so important as a starting pitcher, and then to have that kind of thrown off. And as you pointed out, 13 days in between appearances.
This whole thing has been like a kind of a fantasy for him. I mean, he comes to the big leagues, he wins that game, the first game against the Angels, he goes a no-hitter. All of a sudden, he's on this restriction of pitches, and he's in the bullpen. This is a whole new experience, and certainly one he'll never forget. That's for sure.
Buchholz couldn't get it. Pedroia does, and there's 2 down. This player profile is brought to you by Sovereign Bank, the official bank of the Red Sox cable network. And third member of the 2005 class to reach the majors, along with Craig Hansen. Saw lots of last year, and of course, Kobe Ellsbury seen lots of this year. There's 2 down here in the last half of the third inning. Back up to the top of the order for Vernon Wells. Wells popped out to first base, first time up. With the losses in the first 2 games of this series, Red Sox at 90-62, the best winning percentage in the major leagues, 592. Lead the big leagues in wins. Chopped up the middle, Lugo off the hard surface in the air to throw out Vernon Wells at first base. Nice play by Lugo. We have played 3 full from Toronto, no score.
With a WB Mason.
At the Chevy Model Year-End event, the last of the 07s are disappearing fast, so you better act now. Just click and go to Chevy.com to check out great offers. Then get to your Chevy dealer before yours is gone. Get these 07 Silverado half-ton crew cab models with $56.19 in average finance savings. Get to your dealer before the Silverado you want is gone. Click on Chevy.com. Then see your main Chevy dealer.
America's Mattress and Furniture Gallery is Maine's largest home furnishings retailer, featuring better quality from Lazy Boy, Lane, and Serta, all at the guaranteed lowest price. We have recliners 2 for $2.99, microfiber sofas from $3.99, and genuine leather sofas just $4.99. In our Serta Mattress Gallery, we have twin sets from $169 and pillow top queen sets from just $3.99. Better quality, selection, and price with free delivery to most areas in Maine is only at America's Mattress and Furniture Gallery. Proud to be Maine on Civic Center Drive in Augusta and on Broadway in Bangor. We only look expensive.
At Time Warner Cable, we offer home phone service, Roadrunner high-speed online, and cable in one affordable package. It's simple, and it saves you money. And installation is fast and easy. Satellite won't say that. Call now and get 3 great services for one low price. All in our advanced fiber network. Save hundreds of dollars a year when you get digital cable, Roadrunner high-speed online, and digital phone together. Time Warner Cable, the power of you.
Coverage at Sports Desk with Hazel May, presented by FW Webb, home of Frank Webb's Bass Centers. Learn the latest about a report that, something funny, Don, that indicates Patriot safety Rodney Harrison may be, what is it? using HGH since 2004. Plus, you'll hear what number Dale Earnhardt Jr. will race on the next season in NASCAR. It's all on Sports Desk tonight after our Red Sox coverage. What was so funny?
Your hair was a little unmanageable, I thought. You had the wavy thing going. It looked pretty good, I thought. Top half of the 4th. As Dustin Pedroia leads it off, it's Pedroia, Ortiz, and Lowell. On the ground at Ray Olmedo. And there's one away.
Let's see what's
I like the flip thing you were doing there.
Oh no, yeah, that's going to be the new me next year. I'm gonna shave all this what's left off, and I'm going to go to some type of rug, and I want it to be that type of rug, just kind of just separated in the middle. It just goes crazy
Gotta make sure
all over the
it fits
place.
a little bit better than that, though.
Now, what do you do to your hair? You get like a mohawk?
Yeah, no, I just kind of use gel. A little bit more height. Ortiz, who walked his first time up.
You know, I'm going to ask you once to please, it's a fly ball, it's going to be an out. I want to, when I'm reading a promo, Don, have respect, to let me get through it without laughing, because I've been reprimanded many a times this year about laughing through promotions, and that's not, it's making me uncomfortable. I'm on probation for that.
I know.
So you laughed in the middle of that, which made me laugh, and it's not my fault.
I'm very sorry. It just caught me funny when I saw it.
I'm this far from being a permanent,
out.
Gone.
Yeah, I know. That just, I don't know what it was. I'll try to get it under control, though. Mike Lowell grounded into a 4-6-3 double play in the first inning.
Did you like my play-by-play there?
That was pretty good, except you really didn't follow through. You just called it. What if he dropped it?
He wasn't going to drop it. I knew it. I played the game. It's an out.
Oh, it's in high in the air and deep down the left field line towards the corner. Lind into the corner, leaps up and makes the catch. It would have been a fair ball as he was down there by the 328 marker, but he makes the grab with little room for error as the Red Sox go in order in the top half of the 4th inning. As Jesse Litsch is now retired the last 10 in a row. And we're going to have John Farrell, the Red Sox pitching coach, join us here live from Rogers Center in Toronto. And John's ready to go. John, this has been pretty impressive to watch Clay Buchholz in the outings we have seen him, and tonight has been very good as well.
Yeah, Donnie really has, and I think the one thing that we're seeing with each successive start is improved fastball command, and I think that's just a matter of getting comfort at the major league level, and obviously his acclimation has been very successful to date.
John, nobody has to tell you, but the big story back in Boston is Eric Gagne, and that's been a huge story. And there are people saying, "Oh, we can't pitch him anymore," but to me, it's complete opposite. I think you just got to pitch more and more and more and get sharp.
Yeah, I think last night was probably a tale of two different approaches to his pitching. The first 2 outs that he made, he used the secondary stuff very effectively. And really through the first 4 hitters, even though there was a walk to Thomas and a base hit by Hill. But after the 0-2 pitch to Stairs, there was a tendency to go a little bit too much fastball oriented. And as a result, the command seemed to wane from him. And I think everyone who watched last night knows the story from that point forward.
Speaking of last night, John, a very good outing last night appeared for John Lester. You had to be happy about that.
Well, once again, as much as we talked about with Buchholz, I think with each start that Lester makes, it all centers around fastball command, and I think Lester did a very good job of that last night. But the thing he continues to show is poise and the ability to execute pitches when they matter most.
John, when you get into postseason and you guys are just about there, and I know you hate to look ahead until it's clinched, but the fact is you're going to be there, and you try to put your roster together, your pitching staff together, how much of it depends on the opposition that you're going to be facing?
There'll be some of that factored in, Jerry. There's no doubt about it. But until we get together as a group, and certainly Theo and the scouting department, and certainly the Major League staff weigh in on that, we've got things to take care of first before we get to that level, as you all know.
We got 3 games.
Okay, well, we're going to hopefully get that first one here tonight.
All right, John, thank you very much for joining us.
All right, thanks, guys.
The Red Sox and Blue Jays into the last half of the 4th inning. Scoreless contest tonight from Toronto, with the roof open as it has been for the entire series. That stares Alex Rios and Frank Thomas 2, 3, and 4 for the Blue Jays expected here in the last half of the 4th. That stares with a wild swing and a miss.
First pitch changeup from Clay Buchholz. I think the thing that surprised me is with the 13 days off, I mean, he is very, very sharp early in this ball game. He's only got the 1 walk that to Frank Thomas to lead off the 2nd inning, throwing all his pitches.
Swing and a miss. Correct me if I'm mistaken, but his 2 strikeouts are both on curveballs.
You are so correct, Don. It's unbelievable.
Stairs has got one of them as he struck out in the 1st. Adam Lynn struck out in the 2nd. Stairs tried to check his swing, but was rung up by home plate umpire Ed Hickox.
I was reading a promo that you made me laugh in, but it was Hazel May's name came up, and of course for Sports Desk after the show. My deepest gratitude goes out to Hazel May, because right now, between 6 and 9, she's hosting that Red Sox presidency thing at the baseball tavern. She's the host, but she's been graceful enough to make my speech for me today.
Did you help prepare the speech as Stairs swings and misses, strikes out, 3rd K for Buchholz, 1 down.
We had a slight discussion, a very brief discussion on the phone this afternoon, some of my bullet points, but she was very well prepared. She had gone to the website and looked at a lot of other things. So who better than to have Hazel May back there to make a speech for me tonight, representing me while they're having the show while I'm out of town on purpose. So I'm glad she's done that, and I thank her very much for that, and I know she'll do an excellent job.
Well, I'm interested to see the polling tomorrow, and that happens instantly as soon as this event takes place tonight. This one is sent foul down the right field line by Alex Rios.
Did I mention last night that Doris Kearns Goodwin grew up a Dodger fan?
You did.
Boy.
Would you call that part of a smear campaign, or
no,
you're just pointing that out?
That's a fact.
Oh.
And you know my feelings about the Dodgers. And I mean, to me, how do you go from Dodgers to Red Sox president? I don't get it.
Lugo deep short, the throw in time to get Rios, and there's 2 down. Anybody else you want to mention on that list?
No, not tonight. I'll save it. Matter of fact, I might let Hazel take over the rest of the campaign.
Two down here in the last half of the 4th. Frank Thomas, the only base runner so far tonight for the Jays. He walked in the 2nd inning.
Maybe Tommy Lasorda could run and be president of Red Sox Nation. You know, that, I mean, it's almost the same thing, isn't it?
Well, you can make him your running mate. I know you're very fond of Tommy. Towards left center field and a base hit for Frank Thomas, the first hit of the night. And the Toronto Blue Jays comes with 2 outs here in the 4th inning.
Now Frank Thomas has been the only problem tonight for Clay Buchholz. He walked him back in the 2nd. Now he gets his fastball and shoots it hard into left field for the base hit. Thomas now on a 7-game hitting streak.
First hit the Buchholz is allowed as a starter in 14 1/3 innings.
But Frank has that weird swing, doesn't he? It's almost like he recoils after making contact.
Well, it is a swing that has worked for him to the tune of 512 home runs. And of course, 3 of them coming in the first game of the series. Aaron Hill fly to left, first time up. end of this inning, we're going to a sports desk update with Hazel May. Now, she is making the speech for you back in Boston, so this is the magic of television.
Right.
She actually taped it before she left. Don't want to deceive anybody.
I'd like to be able to somehow, maybe she could make contact with the truck after the event's over at 9 o'clock and let me know, at least let the truck know how things went. I'd like to know that.
Good luck.
Maybe they can have another function while I'm out of town.
Like the actual. I think there's a debate coming up. Are you in town for the debate?
Probably not. I would guess not.
I mean,
let me tell you something. I could win the election if that, if I'm lucky enough to do that, and they'll set the inaugural day for when I'm out of town. And if elected, I promise to walk. You know how some presidents walk from the Capitol to from the White House to the Capitol and all that stuff?
You're going to walk through Kenmore Square?
No, I'll walk from, like, let's say the Twins right across the street to the
that's big
to the ballpark.
Strike 3 call. Fourth strikeout for Clay Buchholz. Frank Thomas left it first. Let's check in with Hazel May and Sports Desk.
Don, thank you. Hi, everybody. A report out of the Albany Union Times says that Rodney Harrison first ordered human growth hormones back in January of 2004. If that's true, the veteran safety obtained the banned substance after a season in which he played all 16 games. Now, Harrison maintains he used HGH to help accelerate his recovery from injury. More on this story tonight on Sports Desk, presented by FW Webb, home of Frank Webb's Bath Centers. Back to Toronto after this.
Baffled by a strange disease that stretches the arms of people buying copy paper at office superstores, scientists at the W.B. Mason Institute studying the problem shocked the world by announcing a cure.
Free same-day delivery.
Call 1-888-WB-MASON by 11. Your copy paper will be delivered by 5. Now, a happy ending is well within reach.
Oh, but W.B. Mason.
Tonight on Sox Appeal, the sky's the limit this week with Kendra, a flight attendant who still lives with her parents.
Oh my God. I wouldn't probably go much further than that,
I don't know what it's all about, but I can't judge.
This is Sox Appeal.
Can a 6-way speed dating episode finally get her love life off the ground? Tonight after Sox coverage. We're making romance a reality, one game at a time.
Now is the time to book your spot with Red Sox destinations to Fort Myers, Florida. When the Sox are at spring training, they want you there with them. Call 617-226-6400 or visit redsox.com/Red Sox destinations today.
We're north of the border and at Rogers Center in Toronto. Don Orsillo, Jerry Remy, and Tina Cervasio bring you Boston Red Sox baseball in high definition on NESN. Scoreless contest into the top half of the 5th inning. Just one hit, and that belongs to Frank Thomas, who just got it off Clay Buchholz as part of the bottom of the 4th inning. Jesse Litsch on the other side is not allowed to hit, as the Red Sox deal with him here in the 5th. J.D. Drew leading it off. Drives it to right. Rios back looking up, and Drew takes it out of the yard. First hit of the night for the Red Sox. A solo home run for J.D. Drew, his 9th of the year, and Boston on top 1-0.
Well, J.D. Drew has had a very good couple of weeks, which is a very nice sign as we head into the end of the season and into the playoffs. Looks like a slider that J.D. gets here. It's either a cut fastball or slider that gets a whole lot of home plate. And J.D. Drew with kind of a line drive home run to give the Red Sox the lead.
Jason Varitek, strikeout victim his first time up, takes a pitch inside. Check with a couple of hits in the series, 2 for 4 in the series. Snapping an 0 for 18 span. That was the longest drought since 2003. On the ground on the first baseline. It's a fair ball and it's handled by Stairs for the first out of the inning.
I'd like to remind fans and members of Red Dog Nation that there is still time through the end of September to become a member and win free tickets to all Red Sox home games in the playoffs. And if that goes right through the World Series, we'll have 2 free tickets for every game right through the playoffs at home. So you still have a chance to become a member right till the end of September, right till the playoffs start, actually.
Slaps it foul off to the left.
And if you go to the website, I don't want to say the name of it because I don't want to give away. There's a brand new T-shirt out there that I think is going to be very, very popular.
Can't give any hints.
Nah, it's kind of touchy, so you're gonna have to go see it. But it's a good one. It's kind of the theme for this year's team.
On the ground, right side, Stairs to the backhand over his Litsch, and there's 2 down.
Tell you one thing, neither one of these guys waste any time. Jesse Litsch, very quick worker, along with Clay Buchholz.
And 2 down. Bobby Kelty, the bat, grounded out to second base, first time up. Kelty 4 for his last 20 over the last 7 games. Right-handers hitting at 207, lefties at 271. Don't talk so much about the great streak at home for the Red Sox of sellouts. Well, we have mentioned it many times during the course of over the years how well the Red Sox draw on the road. The Red Sox surpassed the 3 million mark in road attendance for the second time in club history last night. And Major League high over 3 million, 2,802, second only to the number the Red Sox posted on the road in 2005. There's ball 4, and down to first base goes Kelty with a third walk given up by Jesse Litsch.
Now, not only normally going through the American League, but he had a chance this year to go to a couple of National League cities that were heavily populated by Red Sox fans. San Diego stands out to me. And again, that goes along with being the president. You gotta go out, shake hands, meet these people, keep them coming to the ballpark, kiss babies. It's a tremendous responsibility that I think some of the people in this race are not taking serious enough.
The Red Sox were a college football team. They would
well, they
go
a
good bowl every year.
They go a big bowl every year. Yeah, no question. They look miserable, those two, don't they?
Did you say kiss babies? Don't you do that part?
Well, that's part of being it. Yeah. Well, you got a new baby into Red Sox Nation. You got to give it a little kiss to keep it a member.
Soft toss to first, and back is Kelty. The bunt bit by Lugo, but he drops it foul. That's only 2 outs.
I think I'd prefer to see Julio swing away with the 2 outs and the man on first base. You put a ball in a gap here and you get a chance to score a run. Ellsbury on deck, the left-hander. I understand that, but generally with 2 outs, so you like to see him swing the bat, Of course, unless you got maybe Big Poppy behind you. Don't forget, you're on this artificial surface. You put a ball in a gap, and it quickly gets to the wall, and you're talking about another run.
To the lead at first, 2 down in the inning. One and two. Giving up just 1 hit so far tonight, the home run to begin the inning by J.D. Drew. A solo shot to right, the difference in the game. A couple of youngsters going head to head tonight, and Jesse Litsch against Clay Buchholz. And another pitcher's duel so far tonight here in Toronto. Eagle fouls it off.
It's hard to remember 3 days of coming up to Toronto having such spectacular weather as we've had. You know, a lot of times we go up early in the year and the dome is closed because of the cold conditions. And boy, this has been 3 absolutely perfect days in this beautiful city.
To left field, Adam Lind, who has to come in on it, and he makes the catch. It ends the inning. J.D. Drew is homered for the 9th time of the season and put the Red Sox on top 1-0.
It was the crime of the century. Babe Ruth sold to the New York Yankees.
And I meant to find out why.
From W.B. Mason's Low Price Assurance Detectives.
The name's Mason, W.B. Mason. It was 1920. My partner and I went undercover to Fenway Park. After searching high and low for leads, witnesses, clues, I knew we had found the real scene of the crime.
Hello, boys.
We're Low Price Assurance Detectives.
Investigating the sale of Babe Ruth.
I know you.
And we know you.
But what do you know about this?
My office supply bills, so.
So, that's pretty high.
So high, the Red Sox sold something big to pay it.
Something big? Oops.
If only the Red Sox had saved money on my office supplies. Who knows what might have been?
Who knew?
Who but W.B. Mason?
There's absolutely nothing in the area like W.B. Mason's What a Bargain Super Clearance Center. They have hundreds and hundreds of great bargains on the best brands in business equipment up to 75% off, and there's plenty of free parking. Who but W.B. Mason's What a Bargain store? You know, I told you, Don, I was there on our last homestand. The free parking is great. It's very convenient. I went in to get a lot of business equipment, and it's got tremendous prices. So get on over there to W.B. Mason's Super Clearance Center.
Clay Buchholz. Look at his numbers tonight. 48 pitches so far through the first 4 innings. Frank Thomas, the first hit of the night, came after 3 2/3.
You know what I bought over at the Super Clearance Center?
What'd you get?
A shredder.
To
So I can get rid of all my
precious
past
documents.
You know, all my past I want removed.
How much shredding did you do? How many hours of shredding did you do?
It's still going on back home.
Round the clock shredding. Trying to get rid of all that stuff. All the skeletons. Big Zahn leading it off. Twisting out of the way of a pitch inside. I'm surprised with this presidency stuff and some of the smearing that you have done that some of your other
what do you mean that I've done?
Candidates have not looked into some of that stuff.
Oh, my background?
Yeah.
It's all out there for them to see. What do you want me to do? Admit that I dye my hair once in a while? So what? Big deal. It's the truth. Am I going to hide that? I don't care. Go ahead, have at me.
4 strikeouts for Clay Buchholz so far tonight.
It's Clairol. Men's 9, women's 13 if you can't get the men's.
I was just going to say, I didn't think it was men's. Women's 13.
If you can't get the men's 9, you get the women's 13. It's the same shade, light brown. Yeah, they could, go ahead, come after me. I don't care. I got a lot of stuff. I got a lot of those people, but I'm not going to use it.
Oh yeah,
it's a good look. I think
that's fantastic.
Well, that's the. This is as you see. This is the 9, the men's 9. A couple of years ago, I was all gray on the side. Remember?
I can hardly remember. Zahn sends it down towards the corner. Druid will dig it out. And into second base goes Zahn, standing with a double and the second hit of the night for the Jays.
First hit by Frank Thomas coming on a fastball. The Zahn double looks like the changeup from Buchholz. It is, and again it stays up in the zone. You know, he got away with a couple of those and no-hitter, high changeups, but tonight this one stays up. He's had a few that have been up in the zone. Thomas missed one, fouled it off, but Zahn that time for the double.
Instantly into scoring position as Adam Lynn stands in. He struck out swinging in the second inning. Into center field. Zahn being stopped at third by Brian Butterfield. And it's first and third, nobody out. Back-to-back base hits for the Blue Jays.
Now the Blue Jays are getting their second look. Buchholz, no hits through the first time through the lineup. Second time through, now 3 hits. First pitch fastball right back up the middle by Adam Lynn. So now playing a position where he has to work out of some trouble.
It's happened quickly here in the 5th. As the Blue Jays working towards the bottom of their order. Russ Adams. The 2-run double last night late in the game off Eric Gagne. Only both of those runs, as it turned out, after Julio Lugo homered late in the game in the 9th to bring the Red Sox back within a run. And after the first pitch, fouling it off. Adams lined out to left field first time up.
That ball Adams hit for the game winner last night. I thought when it left the bat that J.D. Drew might have had a chance at that ball, but it was hit too hard. And of course that ended up being the game winning hit for the Toronto Blue Jays.
On the ground as Hinsky can't get it. Pedroia can't, covering his Buchholz, and they don't get him. Run in to tie the game 1-1 as Zahn scores. They don't get the out at first.
Buchholz could not find first base. It's the proper play. Hinsky couldn't get to it. Pedroia makes the play. He leads Buchholz, who's doing his job by covering, but he couldn't find first base. He takes the throw, and when he reached for it, it's certainly beaten by Adams.
John Farrell, the pitching coach, out to talk to Buchholz. It's an infield hit for Russ Adams. And there is action in the Red Sox pen as Manny Del Carmen is up. First and second, nobody out. Ray Olmedo, batter for the Jays, who grounded out to second base first time up.
Well, they don't sacrifice very much, but Olmedo maybe has to do that here.
Number 9 batter. Rolled in at third. So it's Hinsky at first. Back to the mound. Buchholz flips it, backhanded by Lowell. From third base comes Lind. Adams to third and to second base, Olmedo. And a bad judgment error there for Clay Buchholz. And
they tag him out at third base.
Did he come off the bag?
Yeah, they've called him out.
Charge Buchholz with an error. It is a hit.
And then there's got to be a put out for Mike Lowell. Lowell just held the ball at third base. You know, not quite a hidden ball trick, and the runner came off the bag and he tagged him. And now Gibbons has got to come out to question that call.
Initially, he was in safely.
First of all, Buchholz makes a bad decision here by trying to put the sidearm flip and makes an errant to throw to third base. He had no chance to get the man at third base. So the run comes in on that. Now watch Lowell as he stands around the bag. No time has been called. No time has been called by anybody. Adams took a step off the bag, and Lowell just put the tag on him. So that's going to go what? A base hit, an RBI, an E1, and a 5 unassisted. If I got it all right.
Yeah, I think you do.
Well, actually, it shouldn't be an RBI, should there? The run should have scored on an error.
Yeah, the run would score on an error.
Right. So base hit, E1, 5 unassisted.
The score is saying the put out at third base 7-5, but Wells batting with Olmedo at second base. The Blue Jays now on top 2-1.
Now on that bunt by Olmedo, Buchholz made a poor choice by trying to force a play at third. He did not have a play at either base, third base or first base.
Swing and a miss, and it's 2-1. So another look here at the Mike Lowell situation at third.
Here comes a throw from Kelty. Now Lowell just hangs around the bag. Remember, no time has been called. No time, just taking a look, taking a look.
Oh wow!
Tag. He must have just lifted that foot just briefly off the bag, and Lowell got it just at the right time. And Jerry West down there tonight, the third base umpire. Joe West, excuse me.
So Olmedo in scoring position at second base, 1 out in the inning, and a 2-1 to Vernon Wells. And first strike, 2-2.
Well, let's see again at the Lowell play. Let's see if Adams picks his foot off the bag at all. It looks like it's coming up there now. We don't. Yeah, it does. He pulls it off the bag just for a second. That's a good call. It's almost like he was shifting his body to get in a different position. The foot came up, and Lowell just kept the tag on him. And Jerry Joe West makes the call. Heads up.
Outside, ball 3. It's a full count. Wells has popped out to first, grounded out to short, 0 for 2 in the game tonight. second walk given up tonight by Clay Buchholz.
The first baseman, number 24, Matt Spears.
A couple of runners on here for Matt Stairs. Stairs has had his troubles tonight with Buchholz. He struck out in the first and again in the fourth, both times swinging. Buchholz in the first start against the Angels went 6 innings. Of course, the 9-inning effort against the Orioles in the no-hitter. And has gone 4 1/3 so far tonight. Strikeouts, 2 walks as he works with runners at first and second, 1 down. Listen for ball 2, 2-1.
Pretty good pitch, I thought, there from Buchholz. A curveball, the 12-6 curveball, but not getting the call. Looked like it ended up belt high.
Pops it up foul. That'll get back into the seats. Rado at second base. Wells at first base. Swing and a miss. Third time tonight. Matt Stairs is down by way of the K.
Well, he's got him twice on the changeup. In the first inning, it was a curveball. An excellent changeup here again by Buchholz. It's a nasty pitch if he keeps it down. And that's going to be it for him tonight as Francona coming out.
Well, Terry Francona headed out after 4 2/3 innings from Clay Buchholz. Red Sox will switch up pitchers. Manny Carmen has been warming in the pen. And that is the night for Buchholz, who departs trailing in the game now 2-1. Rose tells the rubber. The team's just waiting. 3-1. Ortiz to right field. Back by the wall. It is gone. Mr. Clutch is back just out of the yard. Big Papi, and the Red Sox walk off with the win.
Friday at HD. It's the Sox and the Devil Rays. Pre-game coverage begins at 6 on NESN.
All I hear from people is, hey, you got time? I got all kinds of time. I got nothing but time. What do you need? I got daytime, nighttime, full-time, part-time, tea time, bedtime, hammer time, and then there's prime time. That's a TV term that tells us where the best shows are at. 5:30, that's the new prime time on NESN with Monster Monday, Globe 10.0, and Friday Night Fenway. It's the new prime time. What do you want from me? I don't set the time. You talk about clocks.
This October, turn to the network. You tune in all season long for continuing pre- and post-game coverage throughout the postseason from the team with the best Red Sox access in baseball. TC, Tina, Eck, and Jim. It's the second season before and every Red Sox postseason game. It's Soxtober on NESN. Let me get that right. It's the second season before and after every Red Sox postseason game. It's Soxtober in NESN.
Manny Carmen into the game.
Del Carmen's 40th appearance of the season. His last coming a couple of days, actually last night against Toronto, a third of an inning. See the rest of the numbers: 35 strikeouts and 38 and a third for Del Carmen.
68 pitches thrown tonight by Clay Buchholz. It's Rios, the batter, driving one deep and far to left field. Back is Kelty, and he will make the catch in front of the scoreboard out there in deep left to end the inning. But a 2-run inning for the Blue Jays, who take a 2-1 lead and send it back to Boston and Tom Caron. TC?
All right, Don, thanks very much. Keeping the update on the Yankees game. A little help here. Strike him out, throw him out, double play. Jay Payton strikes out. Ramon Hernandez thrown out. Payton ejected for arguing the called strike. 3 straight innings, the Yankees get out of trouble with an inning-ending double play. It's still 1-0. Andy Pettitte has given up 5 hits. And meantime, with the 2.5-game deficit, the Yankees are closing in on a playoff berth. The Red Sox, by the way, you know the magic number: 3 to clinch a spot, 9 to clinch the division. Yankees closing in on clinching a playoff spot because the Tigers continue to lose. This afternoon, Jason Michaels with a double that drives in Franklin Gutierrez as the Indians, for the 3rd straight game, rally from a deficit to come back to beat the Detroit Tigers. Joe Borowski getting his AL leading 42nd save. 4-2 win for the Indians. They sweep the Tigers. Now it's a 7.5-game lead for the Tigers, or for the Indians, over the Tigers in the Central. And you see the wild card with the Yankees' magic number to clinch a playoff spot at 6. Let's go back to Don and Jerry in Toronto.
Hey, Tom, thanks very much. 2-1, the Blue Jays on top, and for Buchholz, kind of a tough inning, and didn't help himself out much on a throw, too.
Well, in the 5th inning, a play at first base where he could not get to the bag and beat Russ Adams. It looks like he stretched for the ball. It was a good feed, but then a little tardy getting to the bag, then forcing a play here where he really had no play. At either base, 3rd or first base, and of course that brings in another run. Other than that, the first 4 innings were just fine for Buchholz.
Send it down to Tina.
Can you hear me? All right, Don, here we go. This past week, we have seen the Red Sox give up early leads, eventually losing the game. It happened on Friday and Sunday in Boston last night, and now tonight they've given up a lead. Jason Varitek says these losses are glaring because this is really the first time all season that we've seen this ball club give up those leads and victories in this fashion.
Those happen at some point. You don't want to see it happen now, but now we have to find a way to get it up and get it done. You know, with everybody. You know, we're able to manufacture a few runs today off of a guy that had lights out stuff, and we need to, you know, to keep going out there and battling. You know, the guys that we keep putting out there in those situations, I'll keep having them out there because I have faith in them.
And Jason was talking about manufacturing a few runs versus A.J. Burnett last night. And while that game ended up a disappointment, the captain still finds a way to draw positives and believes those positives will carry this team through the rest of the regular season and into the postseason.
Thank you, Tina. Well, Jerry, you often talk about starting pitching and momentum, and how, you know, momentum is only as good as the next day starting pitching. Well, the Red Sox seen 2 good starting pitchers in the first 2 games, and tonight so far facing Jesse Litsch. I mean, this is the kind of pitching they're going to be facing in the postseason. Does that concern you at all?
Keep in mind that you do not have Manny Ramirez, Kevin Youkilis, and Coco Crisp in this lineup tonight. That gives you a whole different look. I mean, you're talking about an MVP player in Ramirez as far as the hitter goes.
Vernon Wells moves over and makes the catch on the liner, 2 down.
You know, that's not to say, Don, that, you know, the outcome would have been different last night, but certainly those guys in a lineup present more of a threat and make it a little bit more difficult. Youkilis is a guy that wears down pitches, takes a lot of pitches. Manny, in any kind of deliver a home run or a big RBI in a game, and of course Chris with the energy that he brings with bunting ability and speed. So, you know, you're missing some of your elements like now. Take nothing away from the games these guys pitch. These guys pitch lights out baseball over the last couple of nights, but again, you don't have the full complement of your offense in there right now.
2 down here in the 6th inning. David Ortiz, the batter. Terry Francona talking about Manny Ramirez. Not only is he a Hall of Fame hitter, but just his presence alone changes everything. And the Red Sox without that presence once again tonight.
I mean, I must say, we saw 2 of the best back-to-back performances that we've seen all season long from Toronto pitching.
Ortiz to right field. And Rios is there to make the catch. Another 1-2-3 inning for Jesse Litsch. 5.5 in the books. It's Toronto on top 2-1.
from the files of W.B. Mason's low-price assurance detectives.
I have this thing, Doc. This uncontrollable need to save money.
That's not so strange.
But it's other people's money I need to save. It's a crime when people waste money.
By the way, what did you pay for that pad? Those pens?
And what about this phone?
We're not here to discuss my problems.
Sorry, Doc.
Besides, I save money at a super office store.
So you paid too much.
Calm down. Their prices are low.
Yeah, low, but maybe not low enough.
You can't be sure unless you buy office supplies from me, Doc.
I could have saved you tons on that desk lamp.
Let's not talk about my desk lamp.
Okay, what about the printer?
What about the printer?
Try not to repeat my questions, Doc. We only have 50 minutes.
To save money on office supplies, call me in the morning.
Who but W.B. Mason?
The Red Sox salute the voluntary work all their players do in the community, such as Tim Wakefield's work with Franciscan Children's Hospital, Jason Veritek's work with Children's Hospital, Mike Templin and Kurt Schilling's work with ALS, Josh Beckett's inaugural Beckett Bowl, Kevin Euclid's Little Ukes program, and our Roberto Clemente Award winner, or nominee, I should say, Big Papi, for life-saving work in Santo Domingo and helping the binational program for Boston and Dominican youth, Lindos Sueños. And those are just some of the stories.
Manny Del Carmen, who got the last out of the 5th, is back out there for the 6th inning. He'll be dealing with Frank Thomas, Aaron Hill, and Greg Zahn. 4, 5, and 6 for Toronto. Red Sox have not found a way to get Frank Thomas out yet tonight. He walked in the 2nd, single to left in the 4th.
Congratulations is in order for you, Don, as you have been. I can make this public, can't I?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I will anyway. You're gonna be doing the first round of the playoffs for TBS, which is gonna be. Well, you don't know where you're gonna be actually yet. You have no idea. So congratulations to you. It's a great opportunity for you. You will enjoy it tremendously.
Thank you much. Looking forward to it.
Just remember all the smack that I've said throughout the years and use it.
Throw it out there as my own.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I'm going to do that.
But that's a wonderful break for you. And what did I tell you when you got this job? Do you remember?
Not exactly.
I said that within 4 years you'll be doing some national stuff. I was off by 2 years.
Yeah. Took 7, but thank you.
So congratulations, and I hope you get a good series. You know, who knows? Right now it looks like what, Arizona
and Chicago.
That would be very good.
Pretty good. And this one inside to Frank Thomas.
You're worrying too much about it, though. It's not that big a deal. You know, like now you study, you're going crazy. You're studying like all these different teams, and don't worry about it.
Out.
Huh?
You got all these teams in it.
You're going to drive yourself crazy. It's going to be the same as doing this game. You're going to go. You're going to have information. Matter of fact, you're going to have a person. You're going to have somebody who's going to give you a lot of information. So you just do your game. You do your broadcast. You do your play-by-play like you always do. You'll have tons of information. Just do what you do best, and that's be a play-by-play guy. Don't worry about who's going to be there, where you're going to go.
You got Philadelphia in it now.
You're driving yourself nuts.
Got to know everybody. You got to know Arizona, San Diego.
It's only a baseball game.
Fouled off by Thomas. Still a full count. You don't want to go into it ill-informed.
Huh?
You don't want to go into it ill-informed. I mean, let's take a look at what the situation is. I mean, you got all these teams still in it. You got.
So what? You know the Phillies. You've seen them. You know, you've seen the Padres. Forget the Dodgers. Yeah. You can ask Tommy Lasorda or Doris Kearns about them. The Rockies, forget it. And the Cubbies, they got a chance to win. I hope the Cubbies get in. That'd be nice. Chicago and in the fall it'd be beautiful. Wrigley Field. Good luck getting a cab after. Well, they'll have a limousine for you.
I don't know what I'm going to do after games without you. It's going to take forever for me to get back.
It's going to be better than with me because you're going to have a limousine.
I don't think so. No.
It's the big time. Last night we considered taking a rickshaw back.
Yes, that's because we couldn't find a cab, and that was the next best thing. Thomas fouls it off.
Who are you going to be working with yet? You know?
That I don't know yet. They're doing the pairings right now.
I know the
So to
two highlighted names at TBS are, of course, Cal Ripken and Tony Gwynn.
They are definitely part of it.
Joe Simpson, I believe, is another guy that's going to be one of the analysts. So you'll have a tremendous analyst to work with, and it'll be a lot of fun. But don't worry about who's going to be in it. You drive yourself crazy.
I just want to be ready.
You'll be ready.
Swing and a miss. Frank Thomas was not ready as he strikes out. And Del Carmen's first strikeout.
Now both outs for Manny have come on the changeup, a fly ball to center field for the last out of last inning, and now the changeup to strike out Frank Thomas to begin the sixth.
Nine pitch at bat for Frank Thomas, but he strikes out for the first out here in the bottom of the sixth.
If they ask you, you know, would you prefer to tape the open and do it live? I would suggest you tape it.
Oh, no. I want live.
You don't want live.
I like the rush of live.
No, you don't. No, because then you box yourself up in front of the whole country. You want to tape it, and that way you can get it perfect. And the other thing that the national people like to do, they like to rehearse. I can't stand to rehearse.
Do you rehearse when you do the Fox games?
No, I don't rehearse. I hate it. No, I hate it because
you throw in all your good stuff.
My figure, if the first one comes out good, take it.
Yeah. And then you wasted it.
Yeah,
it
seems to me the more you do it, the worse it gets. So forget rehearsal. Don't do that. You know, just say run. You know, if this one's good, we're going to keep it, and you take charge of that. You say no. You tell them that if this one's good, we're going to keep it, fellas.
I really think it's a bad idea if I go in taking charge out of the gate. You know.
No, see, they have to adjust to your strengths. They want to bring the best out of you, and the best out of you is if you do a good first when you take it. Who cares what your analyst? He can fumble all over himself. It doesn't matter. It's all about you.
So foul back, and it's 1-2 to Aaron Hill.
The only thing I'm not sure is you're going to get the two shot, like the one shot like you get here with Nessing. You know, you demand a one shot.
They don't have that?
I think, well, the big guys do. I mean, let's not get too carried away. I mean, maybe 3-4 years away from that. The big guys like Joe Buck, they have the one shot. You know, soon be joining me with Tim McCarver.
Tim McCarver in a moment.
I got a feeling you guys are going to start on a two shot, so don't let that bother you.
Down the line, diving is low. It is a fair ball, and reaching at first base is Aaron Hill.
Well, if one thing Lowell did, he saved a double by diving, and that ball was right over the third base bag. And Aaron Hill now has a 6-game hitting streak. This Lowell close to the line, saves 2 bases. So with the Hill still at first base, the chance of a double play to get out of the inning.
There's Greg Zahn, who doubled his last time up. He's 1 for 2.
You probably have to wear makeup too.
You have to mix in a mask.
Kind of a national thing. They'll probably have a makeup person there.
I hope so.
A little bit different in our operation. You know, like there's going to be people all over the booth. So many people they can't even move. And then they'll come up to you right before the lights go on. They'll dab your forehead and they'll dab your cheeks, and you know.
Now, if I decide to dye my hair, what is it again?
You're a different color than me. You got to go darker. I'd go with 11 for you. We got a ball game going on, don't we?
Yes, we do. It's 2-0 for Greg Zahn. Frank Thomas struck out to begin the inning. Aaron Hill. And the infield hit, the dive by Lowell. Strike in. It's 2-1. Lynn waiting on deck. Blue Jays batting here in the last half of the 6th. Well, the run scored in this game coming in the 5th. There goes the runner at first as this one is popped up, foul ground. Lots of it here in Toronto, and Lowell's got room to make the catch for the second out of the inning.
Coming up after the game, it's WB Mason Extra Innings and Granite City Electric Extra Innings Extra with Tom Caron, Jim Rice, and Tina Savasio. You'll get a breakdown of Clay Buchholz to start tonight against the Jays, plus all the highlights of the important games around the majors as the playoff chase enters its final 11. It's all right after the game in high definition on NESN.
Two down here in the last half of the sixth. Aaron Hill at first base. Adam Lynn, the batter. Okajima out now for the Red Sox, getting rest for as long as that may take, and that is undetermined at the moment. Manny Del Carmen may play a larger role. And here he is, so far an inning deep. This one on the ground right side. Pedroia to his left. Yeah, that takes care of business here in the sixth. We've played six. It's 2-1 Toronto.
From the files of W.B. Mason.
When I learned my therapist was overspending on office supplies, I had no choice but to call in backup.
And who are you, precisely?
I'm a low-price assurance detective.
He's my partner, Doc. We're here to save you money.
But I am a registered head therapist.
Doesn't give you a license to throw away money.
And when did you first experience this compulsion to save other people's money?
This is no longer about me, Doc. You've been cited for reckless purchasing of office supplies.
Can we see your receipts, please?
Well, I never, ever...
It's worse than I thought. Read him his rights.
You have a right to save money on office supplies. You have a right to free next-day delivery and cheerful service. You have a right to receive complete orders.
Stop, please. Stop, I beg you. I've heard more than enough.
Another case closed. Another business saved from overspending on office supplies.
Toodaloo. See you next week, boys.
Who but W.B. Mason?
What a team. What a lineup. What a month. It's a Sox September to remember on NESN. Brought to you all month long by W.B. Mason's What a Bargain Store. A super clearance center with savings of up to 75%. The team with the best record in baseball's hitting the home stretch. And we've got all your September game action covered. NESN. One nation. One network. 1 month left.
You want to talk sports? I'm your point man.
Globe 10.0 presented by Verizon. Hosted by Bob Ryan. He's going one-on-one with Boston's best sports writers.
On the next Globe 10.0 presented by Verizon, Charlie Pierce joins me. What is the key to the Patriots' success? The quarterback or the coach?
Tune in for 10 sports questions and a man with all the answers. Don't miss the point. Tomorrow night at 5:30, only on NESN.
That's the point.
2-1 Toronto on top as we head to the top half of the seventh inning. Jesse Litsch back to the hill. So it's 74 pitches through the first 6. And it's Mike Lowell leading it off for Boston. And he's grounded into a double play and fly deeply to left. Red Sox have been held to just 1 hit so far by Jesse Litsch tonight. As Bryant Corey, who was up in the pen last night, warms for the Red Sox tonight.
I mean, has the first 2 guys in this series put the Red Sox in a slump. Only 1 hit tonight off Litsch, who they lit up last time at Fenway Park. Only lasted 3 1/3.
The numbers were not pretty last time out for Litsch. So 3 1/3, 7 hits, 7 runs. The Red Sox back on September 3rd at Fenway Park. Popped up, Matt Stairs. And foul ground, 1 down. Well, as part of the special presentation by WB Mason tonight, we met Kelly and Phil Selberg of Portland, Maine, who were the winners of the What a Bargain 2 for the Blues sweepstakes. Kelly entered the contest online at NESN.com and won a trip for 2 to Toronto to meet Jerry and me. So congrats to them on winning the trip north and enjoying the ball game tonight.
Yeah, we met them before the game. Very nice people. Kelly wearing number 25 in her back. It's an Ellis Burks jersey. Going back quite a ways. That was her favorite player, and they go to a lot of Portland games. They're very familiar with a lot of the young players here with the Red Sox as they've made their way through Portland. and she did her husband a favor by bringing him. She won the contest. I guess she had a choice to who to bring.
Well, it was earlier he went to Baltimore without her.
And she didn't go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she was still kind enough to bring him when she won the contest. And we're thrilled to be able to see Clay Buchholz and Kobe Ellsbury, who they had seen in Portland. Both part of the game tonight. They also had the chance to go down and watch Tina prepare, getting ready for the pregame show. So nice to meet them. Congratulations to them. Yes. Seeing a tight one here tonight. J.D. Drew grounded out to third base in the second. He homered in the fifth. Litsch off the backside after missing for ball 2.
You know, we were a little bit surprised when we checked the stats when we came into town and see the Blue Jays second in pitching, but boy, they've certainly shown it in this series.
One hopped at Hill, and there's 2 down in the inning.
Mixing all his pitches up, his fastball, his curveball, his changeup, his cut fastball.
Jerry, because of the great pitching they've had here this season and towards the end, and a guy young like Litsch who's just 22, these guys are coming back next year, and they're going to add B.J. Ryan, the guy they've been without, at the end of the game. So something to work on here during the offseason and look forward to for Toronto.
I think you'd rather be in that position where you have the pitching and then go out to add to the offense. I think it's much easier to go out and add offensive players than pitching. Pitching is very tough to come by, so they do have something to build on. And it could be a very quick turnaround for Toronto because of the solid pitching they've had. You know, you can go plug in some offensive players. Those aren't, you know, that difficult to get.
Roy Halladay's going to be here as well. They have quite a staff coming back. John Gibbons, whose team last year was offensively very good, pitching not so much. This year it's been the complete reverse. Been a bit of a surprise. Some injuries to his big guns. Troy Glasso had surgery the other day and he's out for the remainder of the year. Lyle Overbay has spent a good chunk of time on the DL. He's going to have surgery again on his hand to remove some of the pins that are in there that he used to surgically repair the hand. So he's going to have that done.
I can't imagine that'd be very comfortable. Playing with pins in your hand.
Newman's up at 2-2 to Jason Varitek. Varitek struck out swinging in the second, grounded out to first base in the fifth. In a row retired by Litsch, who has walked 3 tonight. He struck out just 1. And walks his 4th batter of the night. A 2-out walk for Jason Varitek.
I'm not even sure Varitek was convinced that that pitch was not a strike, as he kind of delayed his way out of the batter's box. Does look a little bit low, and finally the umpire does make the ball 4 call.
So 90 tonight. Keep in mind the last couple of outings he's averaged 3 2/3 last 3 outings. 3 2/3. He is much deeper tonight. 6 2/3. And it's strike 1 to Eric Hensky. He's 0 for 2. He's grounded out twice to the right side of the infield. Litsch drawing closer to the 100 pitch plateau. Casey Jansen up in the pen for Toronto. A 1 hit, the home run by J.D. Drew in the 5th inning. Drew led off the 5th with his 9th home run of the season. foul outside of first. We'll do it again now. The count at 2-2.
Nothing more than Eric Hinsky would like to do is hit a home run in front of some of these fans who have been giving him kind of a tough time ever since he left the Blue Jays.
On the ground and into center field. Eric Hinsky with a base hit. Veritek up to second base. A 2-out single for Hinsky. And the Red Sox have something going with 2 down in the inning.
It's not a bad pitch either by Litsch. It's a curveball that's away from Hinsky and down, but he hooks it right back up the middle for the base hit. So the Red Sox with a mini threat here with 2 outs in the inning.
He's a guy we've not seen in the series. Brad Arnsberg, the pitching coach. They haven't had a need for him to come to the mound really at any point during the series. As you get the complete game for McGowan in the first game, the 8 2/3 and action last night. A.J. Burnett. Two on, 2 down. And Bobby Kelty will be the next batter for the Red Sox here in the 7th. They trail 2-1. Hit with the pitch. This will load the bases. A walk, a single, and a hit batsman all coming with 2 outs in the inning, and that's going to do it for Litsch. As John Gibbons makes his way out to make the change. This happened quickly. And with the tying run just 90 feet away now and 2 outs in the inning, Toronto will change pitchers here in the top half of the 7th inning. Jansen will be in when we come back. 2-1 Toronto.
Tonight on Sox Appeal, the sky's the limit this week with Kendra, a flight attendant who still lives with her parents.
Oh my God. I wouldn't probably go much further than that, you know.
I don't know what it's all about, but I can't judge.
This is Sox Appeal.
Can a 6-way speed dating episode finally get her love life off the ground? Tonight after Sox coverage, we're making romance a reality, 1 game at a time. The Red Sox in October. It's 1 part faith.
Big Poppy with a grand slam.
The other part fight.
He struck him out.
And there's only one network that delivers it all. Nesson. Get continuing pre- and post-game coverage throughout the postseason from the network with the best Sox access in baseball. Turn to the network you turn to all season long. It's the 2nd season. It's Soxtober on Nesson. 1 nation, 1 network.
Escape from Boston's winter in February and enjoy a week in the Florida sun at the Red Sox spring training facility playing with and against your childhood heroes. You wear authentic uniforms and live the pros' life all day and all night. Call 617-226-6400 or email fantasycamp@redsox.com.
Jesse Litsch was pretty impressive through 6 2/3 innings. A walk, a single, and a hit batter here all of a sudden with 2 outs. But prior to that, just 1 hit over the first 6 2/3. He leaves as Casey Jansen comes in.
This will be appearance number 68 for Jansen. He is 2-3 working out of the bullpen. 2.47 ERA. Hits below innings pitched. 65 hits and 69 in the 3rd innings.
He's brought into a bases loaded situation with 2 outs. Red Sox trailing 2-1 with Veritek at 3rd base, Hinsky at 2nd, Kelty at 1st, and Julio Lugo coming up. He's put the ball in the air twice tonight, flying out to right in the 3rd, flying out to left in the 5th. Strike one to Lugo. There's a look back for Ed Hickox, plate umpire.
Now Lugo thought that ball was inside, and actually Zahn was set up away and had to come all the way across the plate to make the catch and keep it a strike. Zahn outside corner reaches in and does a nice job framing it. By framing it, turning the glove in and not moving it. Might have been a makeup call right there. That looked like a pretty good pitch too. Probably a better pitch than the first pitch.
Ball and a strike to Julio Lugo. 2 outs, bases loaded. They're 2-1. Jason Varitek, who walked with 2 outs, now stands at third. Kinski at second base. He singled, and Kelty is at first base. Hit by a pitch. Last batter that J.C. Litsch would face tonight. This one kind of blooped out towards Olmedo, trying to bare hand. He does, and throws out Lugo. Did not play it cleanly, but stayed with it. And he gets Lugo to get out of the bases loaded jam. It's 7th inning stretch time, and it's time for a Sports Desk update with Hazel May.
Don, thank you. Hi, everybody. A report out of the Albany Union Times says Rodney Harrison first obtained human growth hormones in January of 2004 after a regular season in which he played all 16 games. Now, that's significant because Harrison maintains he used the banned substance to help accelerate football-related injuries and not for a competitive advantage. Harrison admitted to federal investigators that he used HGH after his name came up during a 2-year investigation into an internet pharmaceutical distribution ring for steroids and HGH. Harrison was subsequently suspended 4 games by the NFL. Coming up tonight on Sports Desk, presented by FW Webb, home of Frank Webb's Bass Centers. We'll get you prepped for the Pats and Bills contest on Sunday. Of course, we'll break down Clay Buchholz's performance in Toronto, and is Boston College ready for the BCS? For that answer and more tonight, immediately following an all-new Sox appeal. I will see you then. Back to my old stomping grounds at the Rogers Center and Don and Jerry.
Well, the score remains 2-1 in a very bizarre last play of the inning. Watch the crazy hop. First of all, this takes on Olmedo at shortstop. It kicks to his right. He barehands it, drops it. Then from that point, I thought for sure Lugo was safe. But the problem was Lugo was not running hard down the line. He thought it was going to be a routine out. First of all, he gets jams. He slows up. Then when he sees him bobble it, then he decides to go, and it's too late. It cost the Red Sox a run.
So instead of the Red Sox being tied up now, they still trail 2-1. Yeah, the new pitcher on for the Red Sox, third pitcher of the night, is Brian Corey.
6th appearance for Corey on the season. His record stands at 1-0. His last outing coming in game 1 of this series against Toronto. Pitched an inning, allowed a hit, and had a couple of strikeouts. Right after the game, it's WB Mason Extra Innings with Tom Caron and Jim Rice. You'll see it here. All the reaction from the Red Sox clubhouse with Tina Savasio after this series finale, including comments from Clay Buchholz. It's all right after the game in high definition on NESN.
Manny Del Carmen, the middleman of the 3 arms used tonight by Terry Francona, went an inning into third. Giving up a hit, no runs, no walks, and he struck out a batter. Relief of Clay Buchholz, who is on the hook tonight. Buchholz giving up the 2 runs the Blue Jays have in his 4 2/3. It's Russ Adams who leads it off here in the bottom of the 7th inning for the Jays. This infield hit in the 5th produced a run, scoring Greg Zahn from third. As the Blue Jays got their runs in the bottom of the 5th. Strike 2 to Russ Adams. Brian Corey's done a very nice job for the Red Sox since coming back from the Paw Sox, where he was all season. Brought up as a September call-up. Scoreless innings in 5 games. Six and 8, 3.69 ERA, and 58 relief appearances with Pawtucket. That's second in the IL in appearances. And we certainly saw a lot of him in spring training, and of course last year with the Red Sox. 2-2 the count. More action in the Toronto pen. Josh Towers. The crowd tonight, 34,927 on hand. 29 the first night, 34 last night, again 34 tonight.
Now those are pretty decent crowds for a team that's certainly not going to go to postseason and is already out of it. Pretty good crowds here in the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday deal here.
Swing and a miss. Adams strikes out as Corey gets the first batter that he faces.
Change up from Brian Corey. Going to be up and away from Adams for the strikeout.
Javier Lopez up in the Red Sox pen. Well, Mato sends one foul off to the left. 1 for 2, an infield hit in the 5th. His bunt bid led to Buchholz. His throwing error. One backhanded by Mike Lowell down the left field line. And to produce the second Toronto run, it's the difference. On the ground this time to Lugo. 2 down. Two outs here in the last half of the 7th inning. Here's Vernon Wells. He was popped out to first, grounded out to shortstop, and walked. Lopez not alone anymore as Mike Timlin has joined him in the pen. Imagine the number of pitches that Gagne threw last night, he would not be available tonight.
I'd agree with that. I think Francona mentioned that prior to the game today, that with the amount of pitches he threw last night, because Red Sox with a day off tomorrow, and you can use everybody out of that bullpen.
Three and 0. Wells 1 for 4 in his career against Corey. Faces him with 2 outs and a count of 3-0. Taking strike 1. Scott Downs, the left-hander, joining Josh Towers.
Now Downsy up probably for Ortiz. Well, you do have a couple of lefties in that inning. Ellsbury leading off, then Pedroia, then Ortiz. It seems like Towers is the guy that got up first and ready to come in.
Ball 4, and Wells down to first base. Third walk allowed by Red Sox pitching tonight as Terry Francona makes his way to the mound. Javier Lopez will be in when we come back to Toronto with the Blue Jays on top 2-1.
What a team. What a lineup. What a month. It's It's a Sox September to remember on NESN. Brought to you all month long by WB Mason's What a Bargain Store. A super clearance center with savings of up to 75%. The team with the best record in baseball's hitting the home stretch. And we've got all your September game action covered. NESN, one nation, one network, 1 month left.
You want to talk sports? I'm your point man.
Globe 10.0, presented by Verizon. Hosted by Bob Ryan. He's going one-on-one with Boston's best sports writers.
On the next Globe 10.0 presented by Verizon, Charlie Pierce joins me. What is the key to the Patriots' success? The quarterback or the coach?
Tune in for 10 sports questions and a man with all the answers. Don't miss the point. Tomorrow night at 5:30, only on NESN.
That's the point.
Back at Rogers Center in Toronto, the game summary is brought to you by WB Mason's September to Remember with their new What a Bargain Super Clearance Center. J.D. Drew broke the scoreless tie with a solo home run to lead off the 5th inning, his 9th of the year. It was short-lived. Clay Buchholz pitching very well tonight through 4 2/3 innings. He ends up giving up 2 runs, and it all starts on a play here. The bunt bid that he fires away in the backhand, he's charged with an error. That run would put Toronto on top 2-1 as they scored twice in the last half of the 5th inning. Buchholz goes 4 2/3. Saw Manny Ramirez for an inning and a third. Ryan Corey has the first 2 outs here at the bottom of the 7th. Still responsible at Wells at first base. Javier Lopez comes into the game.
57th appearance of the season for Lopez, a 2-1 record, 35 hits in 38 1/3 innings. Opponent sitting 246. He has not worked in the series. Last time he worked was in the Yankee series at Fenway Park.
We'll face Matt Stairs, who's had a frustrating night. Striking out 3 times in the game. All against Clay Buchholz. Buchholz with 5 Ks, 3 of them to Stairs. The other strikeouts, 1 for Aaron Hill, 1 for Lynn. Ground ball left side. Lugo. And on 1 pitch, Javier Lopez takes care of business here in the 7th. We played 7. 2-1 Toronto.
Another day in Masonville, where the friendly office supply folks from WB Mason give you your own local service team. Yes, your own driver, sales rep, and service person who know you and your business. Well, over in Office Superstore land,
You shipped that order?
Ask him. No, him.
What order?
you get excuses. Now, any questions?
Who are those wonderful people?
Who but WB Mason?
The Red Sox in October. It's 1 part faith.
Big Poppy with a grand slam.
The other part fight.
He struck him out.
And there's only one network that delivers it all. NESN. Get continuing free and post-game coverage throughout the postseason from the network with the best Sox access in baseball. Turn to the network you turn to all season long. It's the 2nd season. It's Soxtober on NESN. One nation, one network.
Well, if you're just joining us, let's take a quick look back at the beginning part of this ball game. Clay Buchholz making the start for the Red Sox tonight, and for the first 4 innings, very good. Change up for strikeouts, curveball for strikeouts, another breaking ball there, and the change up. Bud got into a little bit of trouble, and some of it on his own design. First of all, a play at first base that he did a little bit late getting there. They did not get the out. We'll take a look at that right now as we list this as key plays in the game. Put away with the tag as Adams beats it. Then he tries to force a play on a bunt. Throws the ball by Lowell on a shuffle pass, and a run comes around. 2-1 ball game. Julio Lugo, thinking this ball is going to be a routine out, does not run hard to first base and is thrown out. And that could have been the tying run. A brief summary of what's happened in this 2-1 ball game tonight.
Jacoby Ellsbury leading it off here in the top half of the 8th inning. As Casey Jansen returns to the mound, Lyle Overbay into the game at first base defensively. Something John Gibbons has done in the series. Overbay in there for Matt Stairs. Ellsbury tonight walking in the first inning. Since then has grounded out twice to the second baseman Aaron Hill. See Jansen getting a big out, coming into the game with 2 outs and the bases loaded in the 7th. Got Lugo to ground out. Tipped into the catcher's mitt, 2-2. Deck Dustin Pedroia, then David Ortiz, featured here in the top half of the 8th. This one squibbed down the first baseline, picked up by Jansen, and it hit the runner. It got by, and Ellsbury back to the bag quickly.
Now Zahn's going to say that Ellsbury was in fair territory. In other words, not on the line, but I don't think he's going to get that call. It looked to me like he was on the line all the way down that first base bag. That's just a tough play for a pitcher. Now let's watch Ellsbury. Does he stay on the line or inside the line? Right now he's not. Right now he's not. Ooh, they may have a case. They may have a case there, but they're not going to get the call. Ellsbury turns towards second base just a half a step and then realized he had to get back to first base. But I think John Gibbons has a case. Now at the end he got on the line, his last step, but as he was heading to first base he was inside that white line, the infield side of it, and sometimes that causes the bad throw by the pitcher. One more look. Ellsbury inside the line, inside, and then the last step is on the line.
Umpires got together for John Gibbons, and they're not going to change the ruling.
That's a break, I think, for the Red Sox right there. I think that's a big break. They give him a base hit on that?
They did. So it is the 3rd Boston hit of the night. Dustin Pedroia is 0 for 3 as he stands in, tying run at first base for the Red Sox in the 8th. Strike 1 to Pedroia. 7 steals for Ellsbury, and if that's the delivery he's going to have consistently, Jansen, he can go on him. Right now, Alicea giving him the time that it took to get that ball to home plate. Generally, anything, you know, guys with great speed, anything over 1.3 from pitcher to catcher, they're going to go. You get up around that 1.5, 1.6, it's automatic. Ellsbury having to dive back this time. A fly ball to right. Willis puts it away for out number 1. Ellsbury back to the bag at first. So 1 down, and Big Papi making his way up, but John Gibbons heading to the mound. And Downs, a left-hander, up out in the pen. In preparation of Big Papi. It'll be down, so makes his way in. 1 out in the inning. Ellsbury at first. Red Sox trailing 2-1. There's toes the rubber. The team's just waiting. 3-1. Ortiz to right field. Back by the wall. It is gone. Mr. Clutch is back just out of the yard. Big Papi, and the Red Sox walk off with the win.
Friday at HD, it's the Sox and the Devil Rays. begins at 6 on NESN.
All I hear from people is, hey, you got time? I got all kinds of time. I got nothing but time. What do you need? I got daytime, nighttime, full-time, part-time, tea time, bedtime, hammer time, and then there's prime time. That's a TV term that tells us where the best shows are at. 5:30, that's the new prime time on NESN with Monster Monday, Globe 10.0, and Friday Night Fenway. It's the new prime time. What do you want from me? I don't set the time. You talk about clocks.
Friday night at 6, Olympia Sports presents the Boston Globe pregame show with Tom Caron, Jim Rice, and Tina Savasio. They'll preview Josh Beckett's start as he goes for win number 20 on the season, plus Red Sox manager Terry Francona is our guest on Face the Nation segment. It all begins Friday night at 6, and it's only on NESN.
2-1, the Blue Jays on top, 1 out here in the top half of the 8th with a the runner at first base and 1 down. The new pitcher is Scott Downs.
Now Downs among the league leaders in appearances. This will be number 76. He picked up the save last night, only faced 1 batter. It was a strikeout, and Downs picked up his first save of the season.
David Ortiz walked in the first, popped out to second base in the 4th, fly to right in the 6th inning. Salasea talking with Jacoby Ellsbury, who reached on an infield hit to begin the inning. Pedroia's fly to right, the only out of the inning. Strike 1.
Now the combination, bringing the lefty in to face Ortiz makes it tougher on him. Also makes it tougher on Ellsbury at first base. Lefty's a little bit more difficult to get a jump on.
Ortiz to right field. Alex Rios back a few steps and over to make the catch for out number 2. And Ellsbury back to the bag at first.
Those are going to be 1 and out. Probably will be. As Downs gets his man, David Ortiz, and Lowell coming up, and out comes Gibbons.
And Jeremy Accardo, the closer, makes his way in with 2 outs here in the 8th.
Tonight on Sox Appeal, the sky's the limit this week with Kendra, a flight attendant who still lives with her parents.
Oh my God. I wouldn't probably go much further than that,
I don't know what it's all about, but I can't judge.
This is Sox Appeal.
Can a 6-way speed dating episode finally get her love life off the ground? Tonight after Sox coverage, we're making romance a reality, 1 game at a time. The Red Sox in October. It's 1 part faith.
Big Poppy with a grand slam.
The other part fight.
He struck him out.
And there's only 1 network that delivers it all. NESN. Get continuing pre- and post-game coverage throughout the postseason from the network with the best Sox access in baseball. Turn to the network you turn to all season long. It's the 2nd season. It's Soxtober on NESN. 1 nation, 1 network.
On tonight's all-new Sox Appeal, we're sending Kendra on not just 3 but 6 dates at Fenway. Find out if this high-flying flight attendant can get her love life off the ground. Tonight after Sox coverage, we're making romance a reality, 1 game at a time.
Well, 2 down here in the 8th inning. The Red Sox have the tying run at first base. Jeremy Accardo, the closer, The Blue Jays into the game.
Yep, going to him to try to get 4 outs in this game. His 61st appearance, 27 saves and 32 opportunities. Done a very nice job taking over for B.J. Ryan after Ryan going down with the injury.
Nick Lowell, the batter. 0 for 3 in the game. He grounded into a double play in the first, fly to the track and left in the fourth, and then fouled out to the first baseman in the seventh. 1 for 5 against Ricardo. Starts off ahead. Runner at first is the responsibility of Casey Jansen. There's B.J. Ryan lost for the year. He's doing some soft tossing in the outfield, but he's still a long ways. They hope to get him back at least in the first couple of months of next year. There goes Ellsbury. Pitch a strike, and the throw is going to hit Ellsbury. And kick out to short, so he'll just remain there. The theft puts him in scoring position, representing the tying run.
You know what's impressed me about Ellsbury? I mean, he's not doing it on flat-out speed. He's got a little bit of knowledge out there. You know, it sometimes take a long time for guys to learn pitches, read pitches. He's done a very good job of that. Actually, that's a little bit of a break because the ball gets by Ellsbury. He probably ends up on third base. But certainly with 2 outs in scoring position now, and a base hit ties the game.
Well, down in the count 0-2. After the slider, he strikes out. Red Sox leave Ellsbury at second base. 7.5 in the books. 2-1 Toronto.
Sorry, I gotta get some paper.
Door.
Cool. Retro.
Who was that dude?
WBMason.com.
It's the shot, Bergeron strike, scores! Patrice Bergeron ties it up on a nothing.
Bruins are the hub of hockey. The Bruins are on Nesson.
To Char, the drive, scores! The Bruins win a shoot one!
The Bruins are the hub of hockey. The Bruins are on Nesson.
Anybody who wants to learn more about WB Mason's What a Bargain Super Clearance Center should check them out online at WBWhatAbargain.com. It's a new concept in savings from WB Mason, a familiar face in Fenway Park. So visit their giant clearance center for office furniture and equipment.
Two-1 Blue Jays. Let's check back in with Tina Cervasio.
Don, after over the last couple of nights, a lot of fans are concerned that maybe the Red Sox are happy with just getting into the postseason and that they've lost sight of winning the division. Well, here's what the manager had to say about that topic today.
We want to win a World Series. You set out, I think, to win the division because that's the goal that's immediately in front of you. But ultimately, what we'd like to do is go farther than that.
And right now, as the Red Sox trail the Blue Jays 2-1, the Yankees currently lead the Orioles 2-1, and they are in the 8th inning.
Okay, Tina, the Mike Timlin into the game for the Red Sox becomes the 5th Boston pitcher of the night.
And the 46th appearance for Timlin on the season, a 1-1 record and 51 1/3, 45 hits allowed, 11 walks and 27 strikeouts. Last appearance for Timlin was against the Yankees. That on the 15th back at Fenway. Had a couple of strikeouts in an inning against New York.
A double-barreled action in the pen. Tavares alongside Applebaum. There's Timlin gets ready to deal with Alex Rios. Frank Thomas and Aaron Hill expected in the inning. The scoring in this game coming in the 5th inning. 2-1 Toronto lead. Red Sox leaving Jacoby Ellsbury at third base. Mike Lowell striking out to end things in the bottom of the 8th. Thomas, Hill, and Rio sold for 3 tonight. He's grounded out twice, fly to left. Worked 5 1/3 scoreless innings in the last 6 games. So strike and evens account at 1-1. Right-handed batters hitting at 287 against Timlin. Left-handed batters hitting at just 179. Thomas waits on deck. Swing and a miss, 2-2. The ones the Blue Jays have charged to the Red Sox starter tonight is on the hook. Clay Buchholz. And then in tonight's effort, 3-0. 1.50, 5 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. Rios with a pitch.
Now, last thing Timlin wants to be doing here is hitting anybody in a 2-1 ball game deep into the game. Right off the 15 on the back of Alex Rios.
Runner on here in the bottom of the 8th. Frank Thomas, the batter, was walked, singled, and struck out. Red Sox pitching tonight with 7 strikeouts. One of them belonging to the Red Sox starter tonight, Buchholz.
Sometimes when a guy gets hit like that and he's upset, the first thing he wants to do is steal second base. Rios has 15 steals on the season.
Checking again. Thomas patiently waiting another pitch. this one, and it misses. 2-0. With 25 home runs this season, 91 runs batted in. There's a strike, 2-1. Thomas leads all active players with 40 career home runs against the Red Sox. There's a quick check on Rios again, back to the bag. There goes Rios, the pitch, a strike, and the throw is not going to be in time. Rios does steal second base. W throws to first by Timlin, and he ends up stealing it.
Now just a matter of time before Rios took off for second base. He gets it looked to be an off-speed pitch from Timlin, which was to Rios' advantage. Number 16 on the season, in scoring position with nobody out.
Two and two to Frank Thomas. Full count. And Hill waiting on deck. Someone has walked Thomas 8 times. It's the most walks he's had against any individual hitter. Make it 9. Big hurt down to first base. First two on here in the 8th. Hit batter and a walk. Another pinch runner. Curtis Thigpen headed out. Pinch run for Thomas. First and second, nobody out here in the last half of the 8th. Aaron Hill, the batter. Reached on an infield hit last time up. He's 1 for 3. Well, looking to obtain some insurance here in the last half of the 8th. Up on the bunt down. Timlin picks it up and throws just in time to get him. Roy covering the bag. And the sacrifice gets Rios to third, Thigpen to second.
A little bit surprised at that, only because Hill has been a hot hitter. He's hit in 6 straight games. You're working toward the bottom of the lineup. I thought, in a team that doesn't bunt very much, I just kind of thought they'd let Hill swing away. He drops down a beautiful bunt. He does get the job done. So 2 men in scoring position now. Red Sox pull the infield in, and Zahn will be the hitter. Question is here, do you intentionally walk Zahn to set up a possible double play?
We'll talk it over as Varitek out with the rest of the infield, the exception of Lowell. Zahn has a hit tonight. He doubled in the 5th. Put him on.
And it seems to make sense. The logical thing to do with first base open. I know you have a lefty on deck in Lynn, but you know, you play the percentages, try to get a ground ball and get out of the inning. Papelbon continuing to warm in the Red Sox pen.
Down to first base goes on, loading the bases with one out. Adam Lynn coming up. Terry Francona pops out of the dugout. Terry Francona trying to keep things right where they are, with the Toronto Blue Jays on top 2-1. And the pitching change from Toronto. The closer makes his way in.
What a team. What a lineup. What a month. It's a Sox September to remember on NESN. Brought to you all month long by WB Mason's What a Bargain Store. A super clearance center with savings of up to 75%. The team with the best record in baseball's hitting the home stretch. And we've got all your September game action covered. NESN. One nation. One network. 1 month left.
You want to talk sports? I'm your point man.
Globe 10.0 presented by Verizon. Hosted by Bob Ryan. He's going one-on-one with Boston's best sports writers.
On the next Globe 10.0 presented by Verizon, Charlie Pierce joins me. What is the key to the Patriots' success? The quarterback or the coach?
Tune in for 10 sports questions and a man with all the answers. Don't miss the point. Tomorrow night at 5:30, only on NESN.
That's the point.
Stay tuned after the game for Granite City Electric Extra Innings Extra with John Farrell, Jim Rice, and Tina Savasio, who will bring you all the reaction from the Red Sox clubhouse after the series finale, including Terry's take. Plus a preview of the 3-game series this weekend in St. Pete against the Devil Rays. It's all right after the game in high definition, and it's only on NESN.
Well, bases loaded, 1-out situation. Mike Timlin responsible for the men on as the Red Sox go to the closer here, Jonathan Papelbon.
Well, it's been a long time for Papelbon. The last time he worked was that game he lost against the Yankees. An inning in that game, 3 hits allowed, and a couple of earned runs against New York. So he's been anxious to get back out on the mound in a tough situation. Bases loaded and 1 out.
Lynn will be the batter. With Alex Rios at third base, Curtis Thigpen at second, and Greg Zahn at first base. Lynn with a single back in the 5th, 1 for 3 tonight. And 0 for 1 with a K against Papelbon in his career. Red Sox intentionally walking Zahn to load the bases, trying to induce the double play. As the Blue Jays try to grab another run. Well, not waiting around as he goes after the first pitch, fouling it back. Rios at third base, Thigpen at second, Zahn at first. Swing and a miss. First one at 93, the last one at 94, and it's 0-2. Check. He did. Joe West, third base umpire. And it's 1-2. Timlin hit a batter, the first batter that he faced in the inning, then walked a batter with a sacrifice bunt, then the intentional walk, loading the bases for the Blue Jays. right back again, staying alive.
And trying to crowd Lynn with all those fastballs so far. Once again back to the inside part of the plate, and Lynn just fouls it off.
Gets him. Lynn strikes out. And there's 2 down in the 8th.
Now the first splitter he saw on that at bat, everything had been a fastball from Papelbon from 94 to 95, and then he comes back with the 87-mile-an-hour splitter to pick up the strikeout, and a heck of a play by Veritek to catch that ball and not allow to run the score.
So no contact, bases remain loaded, 2 down. Russ Adams, the batter, the hero from last night who knocked in a pair of runs. The winning run, as it turned out in last night's game. He's 1 for 3 tonight with an RBI. Almost gets hit, jumps back out of the way. 2 for 8, and a double, couple strikeouts against Papelbon. In again, and it's 2-0.
One thing that Adams can do here is just look fastball, because very unlikely he's going to throw him a splitter with the bases loaded on a 2-0 count.
This is with it, and it's 3-0. No place to put Russ Adams. Adams taking all the way, and he takes a strike. After the 3-1 fouls it off. That's a full count.
Adams upset with himself too, because he knows he's getting fastball on the 3-1 count. He gets one right down the middle, but he's still late. Fouls it back. When you're facing a guy like Papelbon and he falls behind 3-0, I mean, he couldn't be in a better position as a hitter under those circumstances.
Bases loaded for the Blue Jays, 2 outs in the 8th. The 3-2 pitch. Adams to right field. Down the line, will it stay fair? Yes! Grand slam for Russ Adams, who's the hero again tonight for the Toronto Blue Jays. And the complexion of this one has changed in a blink of an eye.
Now, Don, the key to that at bat with the bases loaded was Papelbon falling behind 3-0. All Adams had to look for was one pitch, and that was the fastball. He missed it on the 3-1 count. He did not miss the 3-2 fastball. Right out over the plate, and Adams, who was the hero last night, puts on the tack-on runs tonight.
Last night they get to Eric Gagne. And tonight getting to Jonathan Papelbon. Grand slam. First career grand slam for Adams. will do nothing to calm the nerves of Red Sox Nation.
Another look at the 3-2 fastball right down the middle of the plate, and Adams out in front of it. Papelbon with back-to-back tough outings, the one against the Yankees, and now giving up the grand slam.
Last 2 games, 7 of the 9 runs the Blue Jays have coming in the 8th. Strikes out, but the damage certainly done. A 6-1 Toronto lead as we head to the 9th. Let's send it to Tom Caron in Boston. TC.
Well, Don, thanks very much. Bad news for the Red Sox in Toronto, obviously, after the Adams grand slam of the news. Not much better from New York, where the Yankees are closing in on yet another win. It was a tight one against the Baltimore Orioles tonight, and the Yankees have a 2-1 lead in this one. That was Hideki Matsui with a home run in the second inning to make it 1-0. There with runners on the corner. A-Rod at the plate. Ryan Burris throws it just a bit high. Doug Minkiewicz scores. 2 outs in the top of the 9th. Andy Pettitte went 7 2/3. He gave up 1 run. Mariano Rivera on the mound with a man on second and 2 outs, trying to close out the win for the Yankees. So right now, it is still 2.5, the difference between the Red Sox and the Yankees, but Rivera is 1 strike away from adding an 88th win to that column. The Red Sox have been sitting on that 9 as the clinching number, the magic number to clinch the division. Of course, the magic number to clinch a playoff berth is still 3 because the Tigers are beaten again this afternoon. Don't forget, coming up tonight on NESN, full coverage. Jim Rice will join me here in studio. Sox Appeal coming your way after our post-game coverage, followed by Sports Desk and Globe 10.0. It's all coming up tonight on NESN. Right now, back to Toronto.
Okay, Tom, thanks very much. J.P. Ricciardi enjoying tonight and the series. The Toronto Blue Jays have opened it up 6-1.
Well, last 2 nights, Russ Adams, who spent most of the year down in AAA, has had some big hits. And the biggest right here, the grand slam home run off Jonathan Papelbon to give a comfortable 6-1 lead now going into the 9th.
J.D. Drew opens up the 9th. Defensive change for Toronto. Reed Johnson into the game in left field. Adam Lynn coming out. Drew has supplied the only Boston run tonight. And a home run to lead off the 5th inning. Red Sox have been held to just 3 hits tonight.
Now the Red Sox through this series left their bats at the customs agent.
Hopefully they can get them back before going to Tampa. Three hits in the game tonight. Ellsbury's got 1. Henske's got 1, and the home run by Drew. Starting pitching has been very impressive. Down Burnett and Litsch, 24 1/3, 5 earned runs. Drew strikes out to open up the 9th. Second strikeout for Ricardo.
Ricardo just throwing the fastball by J.D. Drew on the outside corner after he quickly got ahead of him. So Ricardo 2 strikeouts since being in the ballgame. There's a slide to Lowell, a fastball to Drew.
One down for Jason Varitek, 0 for 2 with a walk. Just rearing back. Litsch, the starter, 6 2/3, giving up the only run Red Sox have on just 2 hits. He walked 4, struck out 1. Comes into the game 5 and 9, a chance for victory number 6. Foul tip held on to. Back-to-back Ks for Ricardo. 2 down in the ninth.
Old challenge time. Number 1 for Mercado at 97 miles an hour for the strikeout. A lot less pressure coming out with a 6-1 lead than a 2-1 lead.
Linsky 1 for 3 tonight. One of the 3 Boston hits. There was a single to center in the 7th. Red Sox are swept in Toronto. 6-1 tonight. The Blue Jays do it again. The Red Sox held to just 1 run and 3 hits. As the end of this 3-game series against the Blue Jays couldn't come fast enough for the Red Sox at the moment. As Toronto takes it to them in the 3-game series. Russ Adams, a couple of huge nights. WB Mason's extra innings right around the corner. Stay with us, Trey, and I'll be back here in Toronto right after this.
I want my WB. I want my double. I want my WB.
It was the crime of the century. Babe Ruth sold to the New York Yankees.
And I meant to find out why.
From WB Mason's Low Price Assurance Detectives.
The name's Mason, WB Mason. It was 1920. My partner and I went undercover to Fenway Park. After searching high and low for leads, witnesses, clues, I knew we had found the real scene of the crime.
Hello, boys.
We're Low Price Assurance Detectives. Investigating the sale of Babe Ruth.
I know you.
And we know you. But what do you know about this?
My office supply bills, so.
So, that's pretty high. So high the Red Sox sold something big to pay it.
Something big? Oops.
If only the Red Sox had saved money on my office supplies. Who knows what might have been?
Who knew?
Who but WB Mason?
September to Remember is brought to you by WB Mason and the new What a Bargain Super Clearance Center for office furniture and equipment. A 6-1 Toronto Blue Jays win, a sweeping by the Toronto Blue Jays as Clay Buchholz, a loser for the first time in the majors. Litsch, a winner. Ricardo picks up his 28th save of the season. We check out the standings as a result. The Yankees 2 games back of the Red Sox as in the wild card situation. The Tigers losing today. They are 5 games back of the Yankees. As we look at the AL wild card, the Mariners 6 games back. The final score again, 6-1 for Jerry Remy and Tina Cervasio. I'm Don Orsillo saying good night from Rogers Center. Join us again Friday night. The Red Sox open up a series with the D-Rays. Our coverage begins at 6. Visit NESN.com, where New England sports live online. This has been a presentation of NESN, New England's most watched sports network. Coming up next, WB Mason's Extra Innings with Tom Karen and Jim Rice, live from the NESN HD Television Center. TC.
Don, thanks very much. First major league loss for Clay Buchholz tonight. The Red Sox swept in Toronto. It is a 2-game lead now. The game not over in New York. Bases loaded with 2 outs for the Orioles. We will fill you in on what went down, get you the updated standings, and look back on 3 days to forget in what the Red Sox hope to be a September to remember. It's all coming up on WB Mason's Extra Innings with Jim Rice, Julio Lugo, and the Red Sox. Don't get it done tonight.
Closed captioning for Red Sox baseball on NESN is brought to you by Aflac. Ask about it at work.
When it comes to repairs, VIP always tells you up front what's wrong, when it'll be fixed, and we'll do it for less. At VIP, we shoot straight, always. We'll never leave you in the dark. Our qualified techs will tell you what your car needs and what it doesn't in plain English. Our full 1-year nationwide warranty on parts and labor means we stand behind everything we do. And we'll always let you know exactly when your repairs will be done. When you need service, head to VIP. A little love goes a long way.
Hello, banker. Good deal. So this is the perfect opportunity for us to tell you about the $5 Main State Lottery Deal or No Deal instant game with 2 ways to win up to $1 million, including a chance to win a trip to Hollywood to play Deal or No Deal with me, the banker, and all the models for up to $1 million. This is the ultimate game for the ultimate lottery player.
When you're on the go, you need the convenience, quality, and pricing that you'll always find at Extra Mart. Convenience. Everything you need is priced right and ready to go. Quality. Extra Mart has their own Extra Cafe gourmet coffee, delicious Deli Joe sandwiches, and Extra Fuels gasoline. All this month at Extra Mart, Nestle Pure Life Spring Waters, specially priced at just $3.99 per case. Nestle Pure Life, satisfying your healthy thirst for life. In every corner of New England, Extra Mart is just around your corner.
This is not just a Harvard Pilgrim member card. It's the power of choice. You see, it won't tell you where to go. You tell it where you want to go. A family physician down the street, a doctor at a teaching hospital, or a specialist in another town. This card will get you there. After all, it's your doctor, not ours.
Baseball is really a neighborhood game. The field at the local school, a sandlot, or even the backyard. And at Sovereign, the same is true for banking. Our roots are in the neighborhood and always will be. Which means even though Sovereign offers big banking resources, we never forget the value
of small town attention.
Second straight night, Russ Adams, the big swing of the bat that breaks open the game last night. The 2-run double over J.D. Drew's glove in right field. This time it's a 2-out grand slam in the 8th of Jonathan Papelbon. Breaks open what was a tight game. Winds up being a 6-1 loss to the Red Sox. They are swept in Toronto. They've lost 4 in a row, and they've lost 4 games off their lead in the AL East over the last 4 days. Welcome into our SNHD Television Center, everyone. Tom Karen along with Jim Rice. Don't forget, an all-new episode of Sox Appeal coming up right after our post-game coverage. That's about a half hour away, but all of a sudden, Jim, the playoffs seemed like a long ways away for the Red Sox. It's not about the division right now. It's not about the wild card. It's about getting themselves in order. They are not playing well.
Well, one thing, you want to get your best team out there right now. Your best team is not out there. And so maybe once you have an opportunity to put your best team, maybe you have a different situation where you would see different hitters in certain situations.
All right, it is over in New York. The Orioles try to get something going in the 9th inning off Mariano Rivera. They load the bases, but they can't get anything done. A 2-1 game here in the 9th inning, and Rivera comes on to close it out. And here's how it ends. They bring up Scott Moore in the pinch hit with the bases loaded. 3 pitches, game over. He takes a called third strike. The little cutter comes back in over the plate. And the Orioles are beaten 2-1, so the Yankees have swept Baltimore. And as the Red Sox have lost 4 in a row, the Yankees have won 4 in a row. You do the math. That's a 4-game difference over 4 days. The Indians have been the only team giving any good news to Red Sox Nation as they finish off a sweep of the Detroit Tigers. So despite losing another game, another number off the magic number. It comes down to 3 to clinch now, still 9 to clinch the American League East. And it's a 1-game difference. Now, both the Red Sox and the Yankees are off tomorrow. The Tigers off tomorrow. Everybody off tomorrow. But as you can see, they've got games to make up. The Yankees will play a game next Monday. It's a 4-game series against these same Toronto Blue Jays. beginning on Thursday. Monday is a makeup of a rainout from last April. And so that's how it plays out. It's a one-game difference in a loss column now, and the Red Sox are struggling. They're not getting the offense. They could only manage 5 runs over 3 games in this series. Again, a lot of guys not in the lineup right now. The bullpen is a concern. Papelbon gives up the grand slam. Right now, a lot of the things you weren't worried about are starting to become worrisome.
Well, I think you have to look at, we didn't think that you're going to be out with Manny, Buchholz. And, of course, you got a couple guys that still not swinging the bat, and Coco's hurt right now. So you see a lot of things now that you didn't expect, and it's happening now. At the beginning of the year, it was the Yankees. Now it's the Red Sox.
Well, the best opportunity for the Red Sox came in the 7th inning, and it's one thing to not be swinging the bat. It's another thing to not be hustling, and that's what happened to Julio Lugo. There's no two ways about it here. Bases loaded with 2 outs in the 7th inning. Julio Lugo comes up to the plate against Jansen, the reliever, and it looks like a routine play off the bat, and apparently that's what Lugo thought because he was not hustling. We know he has great speed, but as Joe here takes a bad hop, he's not going all out.
You know, I think one thing, you're a little frustrated because you got jammed. All of a sudden you hit a ball, the ball is in the infield, so you in the back of your mind say, hey, this is an easy play. So you go down there, you're not really putting out, and all of a sudden the ball takes a bad hop. You try to kick it in another gear, it's too late.
But there is no question, if he had gone all out, he wouldn't be safe. That would have tied the game. Might have been a whole different scenario.
He knows it, the manager knows, the players knows, I mean, and then of course the fans and everyone else knows that.
And this time of year, you know, you've got 9 left now until the postseason. You've got big games coming up. It's really, you know, you can't have that. I mean, you simply can't have that.
You can't have that when it rains, it pours. You know, you dissect everything. It seems like that everything is more of a microscope right now, and that's what it is right now. I mean, you know, you're playing bad, your guys are not healthy, and every mistake out there, people are going to have you under a microscope.
And when it's that tight a game, it was 2-1 at the time, it stands out even more. We'll show you how it all broke down. We'll show you what Clay Buchholz did, and we'll show you why the Red Sox are now clinging to that 1-game lead in the loss column. Not a good 3 days of baseball for the Red Sox. A day off. They needed 9 games left in the season. And again, it's a 1-game difference over the Yankees, who win again. All that and more coming up here. Clubhouse reaction right now. We check in with Tita Cervasio back up in Toronto.
TC, we still have to wrap things up here from Rogers Center. Coming up, you'll hear from the Blue Jays' Adam Lind. He talks about how impressive Russ Adams was against the Red Sox closer, Jonathan Papelbon, tonight. We'll see who we'll talk to in the Red Sox clubhouse, get some reaction there on the Blue Jays' sweep of the Red Sox. Plus, I'll go one-on-one with the manager in Terry's Take. All of that coming up as WB Mason's Extra Innings continues with Tom Caron and Jim Rice. But first, let's send it back to our NESN HD Television Center and check in with Hazel May.
TC, thank you. Hi, everybody. A report out of the Albany Union Times says that Rodney Harrison first ordered human growth hormones back in January of 2004. If that's true, the veteran safety obtained the banned substance after a season in which he played all 16 games. Harrison maintains he used HGH to help accelerate his recovery from injury. This story, much more for you tonight on Sports Desk, presented by FW Webb, home of Frank Webb's Bass Centers. I'll see you after an all-new episode of Sox Appeal. But for now, let's throw it over to Bob Ryan in our Globe 10.0 studio. Bob.
Thanks, Hazel. Dan Shaughnessy joins me for tonight's Extra Point question. We'll bat around some college football. Is Boston College BCS worthy? The Eagles are 3-0, heading to an easy part of their schedule after 3 conference wins. Is this team BCS ready? Dan and I will debate the question on Sports Desk after Red Sox baseball. Tom Caron will be back with more of the postgame show next.
Feel the freedom driving home the all-new redesigned 2008 Subaru Impreza. This hot new Impreza comes standard with a 170 horsepower Subaru Boxer engine and symmetrical all-wheel drive. 4-wheel disc brakes with ABS and 6 airbags are all part of the package. Buy an all-new, totally redesigned 2008 Subaru Impreza starting at only $16,995. Go to NewEnglandSubaru.com for a list of local dealers. Feel the freedom. Feel the freedom, Subaru.
Nope.
Sorry.
I gotta get some paper. Door. Cool. Retro.
Who was that dude?
Who but WBMason.com.
Yes. Kate, hi. Look at you. Hi. You look great. Oh, I love
love those earrings.
Oh, thank you. I love your shoes.
Oh, thanks. I just got them.
Oh,
and I love your belt.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Well, you can have it if I can have that bag.
This bag?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Hey, sweetie.
This fall's hottest item, Chicken McNuggets. Buy a 6-piece or a 10-piece and get one free. Hey, it's all about having options.
Presenting the 263 horsepower Lincoln MKZ, rated highest in initial quality according to J.D. Power and Associates. Now joined by the fastest selling luxury crossover, the Lincoln MKX, with its award-winning safety and panoramic Vista roof. Reach higher and you're destined to reach the top. Now drive the innovative Lincoln MKX for $399 a month, or the Lincoln MKZ for $339 a month.
September to Remember is brought to you by WB Mason and their new What a Bargain Super Clearance Center, where you can save up to 75% on office furniture and equipment. Located at 647 Summer Street in Boston, across from the Boston Athletic Center.
Time for our superstar of the game, brought to you by the Super Dealers of New England. Field of Freedom. Nice night for Russ Adams of the Blue Jays. He's been on a tear. Had 5 RBI tonight on a 2-hit night. Has 7 RBI in the last 2 nights. Drove in 5 of the 6 runs in a 6-1 win. Of course, the grand slam put 4 of them up on the board after the game. The third baseman spoke with Tina Cervasio.
Adam Lynn from the Blue Jays joins us, part of a 2-run 5th inning that got things going before Russ Adams, though, hits that grand slam. I mean, what's going through your mind when you see him just hit that ball out of the park?
Thank God he picked me up, because all I had to do was hit a sac fly, but he had a good at bat, took some pitches, and then got to the full count, and then got a heater right down the middle.
How satisfying is it for you guys to sweep the Red Sox and sort of throw a wrench in a team's quest to win a division right now?
We have Boston, then we go to New York for the weekend, so we have a chance to actually affect how the AL East is finished.
Yeah, playing spoiler really here for both teams. How impressive was your pitching all series?
It was unbelievable. Almost 2 complete games, and then today Jesse did his thing, and it was fun to watch.
You scored the go-ahead run, and Clay Buchholz was quite effective the first time through the lineup. What did you see second time around?
I just saw a fastball my second at bat, but he just left it over the plate, and I just hooked it up the middle, trying to get the runner to the third.
All right, Adam, thank you for joining us.
No problem.